hello. I am your...
It's a dramatic turn.
I am your DM, your King Ginger. This is Domains of Dread. We're going to move quickly around the table. Everyone introduce yourself, introduce your character. Tell us what is the last important thing you remember about the game we played in. So, who wants to start?
Not me, except look at my notes real quick.
Okay, I'll start this week. I'm Shannon. I play Allie. She's a tiefling bard. And she just remembers, I think, being fairly unhappy with the party at large last week. Or last time, I should say.
Yep, that's what I remember. I am Nate. I'm playing Kor, the Kalashtar Druid. Allie hates us because we killed our guild leader, and that's very similar to what we're planning to do next, and I don't know if she just hates us.
Hate's a strong word. I mean...
Regicide is
we'll
basically what you guys were like, oh, we're good at this.
Yeah.
Hey, when you have a skill, you keep going.
It's not our first regicide.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Kingbusters.
I'm in danger.
I'm Warrior. I play Balder, Hexblade, Furbolg Warlock. Couple folks who are traveling with us aren't feeling too good about us right now. And we're gonna kill a king. It's fine.
It's fine.
Orinvite, resident deathmatch guy, playing Magnar Steelsaw, a Goliath wizard. Last thing I remember is I went on a side quest because I wasn't here.
Ooh, let's start with that.
Yeah.
We are going to.
Oh, shit.
I'm playing as Torin Eryxius, the Dragonborn Ranger, and the last thing I remember us doing was being sort of strong-armed a little bit into this regicide thing.
No such thing.
If I remember correctly. It's just not entirely our choice.
Well, I mean it is. Cassandra, I'm playing Roya, the Vidalcan princess. Besides Allie not liking us, I do remember they promised us perks. So
There was a giant.
Roya likes her perks.
We're gonna get a lot of perks.
A giant.
That was just
All perks.
Do we all have a problem? Like, do we all have opioid addiction?
It's only a problem if you acknowledge that it's a problem.
Well, you were gone.
The first step is...
There was magic items promised, as well as a trip anywhere you wanted in the realms, in the domains.
I believe we were promised free passage within the realms.
One free passage in the domain.
Was that what they
It was.
I think we're cutting hairs here.
Sure, it was a Vistani card.
Even if it wasn't,
I didn't think it was a Vistani card.
we'll have... Even if it wasn't, I feel like
It
we'll have a Darth Vader, Lando Calrissian like situation. I'm altering the deal.
Yeah, pray I do not alter it further.
We'll just have to regicide someone else.
That's a great deal, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
We don't get what we want. We're
You're
just
welcome
looking at
for
weapons.
getting you out of that hole, by the way, and now into
Hey,
this hole.
it's just like Vince McMahon rewriting SmackDown at like 20 minutes before it starts.
And it always goes perfectly.
And he has,
Hashtag truth.
so, as always, thank you to Sirenscape. We use them for our mood, music, and sound effects. And thank you to David Richardson and all of his myriad of projects on bandcamp.com. It'll be the link is at the end of the show because he does the entrance and exit music for this show. Thank you to Casual Doug for being the awesome producer in the background. And thank you to everybody on TTRP. We're doing it at the beginning this time because, I don't know, maybe I'll run right up against the end of things.
Never know.
So,
Maybe the internet will die again. You just never know.
also, Extra Life is this Saturday and Sunday.
Yay!
Join us. 25 hours straight of of role-playing games.
This is our 5th year.
5th year in a row. Our goal is to raise $6,666.
The page now says 6,667.
That's because Extra Life won't let us have that number.
That many sixes.
No, you can only have 3 sixes.
3 sixes.
Which is
4,
butkus.
That's all you need is 3 sixes.
But we've raised over $20,000 in 4 years. So please feel free to
we're doing good.
come and join us. I will give you a spoiler. I am running the last session. It's a 4-hour session. it will not be your normal Dungeons and Dragons. It is going to be buck wild, and I will take as many players in that game as possible.
Oh, there's a lot signed up, so
Yeah.
FYI.
And because the mortality rate is going to be astronomical.
Oh God.
Oh, good. Backup characters!
I'm bringing a binder full of characters.
Oh no, you get one
Oh.
And then you're out.
for a reason.
Mm.
But
1 hour in, game's over.
But the menu in that game, there'll be a player's menu, so you'll be able to buy things as players, as donations.
Like resurrections.
Oh no!
Aw.
He would.
But
never.
even better, those of you who watch, there will be a menu for you as well for donations
To murder us.
to murder, as well
Save
as
us.
to give
help.
items
It helped.
or
It bailed us out
Yeah,
last
do
year.
that. Don't murder
Yeah,
us.
it bailed us out last year.
So
Stressful.
it should be pretty interesting. If you want to know more, like secret, I'll tell you secrets. Just message me, and I can let you know exactly what's going on. I will give the ultimate spoiler.
And then message the rest of us and let us know.
I was planning on, my original plan was to basically run the movie Predator.
Oh.
Jeez.
To the point I designed the monster, I had everything ready, and then I changed my mind because I came up with a better idea.
Oh, because I'd just be a Warforged.
I've never seen the movie Predator.
What?
I haven't either. I know of it.
I don't think I've ever sat down and watched it all the way
It's so
through.
good. It's such, like,
I understand.
G-Raver would be upset with.
yeah, it's real good. I'm upset. I'm sad for you. Even Predator 2 is good.
I haven't seen Alien or Predator. I don't even think I've seen
It's
Alien
one of those
versus
where they,
Alien.
I've seen
it's one of
Alien
those where they
and
shout, "Get to the chopper."
That's Predator.
That's
yeah.
Predator.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I think I've seen
Run
parts
now,
of it then.
get
Yeah.
to the chopper.
Alien is one of the greatest movies ever made, and I'm
It's Haunted House
not
in
a movie
Space.
person.
And Aliens 2 is
Spooky.
fantastic.
Aliens,
like
is
Yeah.
also
things.
Aliens is excellent. Also,
The
Warrior.
first two are real good.
Hold on. Warrior has thrown up his link for donation.
Hey.
You're looking at
Now I'm gonna go
competition.
find my own right now.
Opportunist
It's a
over
competition.
here.
the known world united.
I'm gonna go find my own right
Hey, man,
now.
we're all making money for the kids.
Yeah, it's for the kids.
For the kids.
I need to
my
make
link will
more money
eventually
than
be up.
Warrior
And my pride.
Anyway, now that we've gotten through all that
bragging
and
Mostly
rights.
his pride.
the fun,
We can't all be VIPs.
That's true.
and all the fun, let's get into some domains of dread, shall we?
No.
So I thank you guys for your
I'll follow you all day.
patience as I was unable to play last time we were scheduled.
Sickness happens.
It does.
It's true.
But we're going to start with or invite
Oh, shit.
Ragnar. You remained behind.
Sounds right.
You were doing a little side business. What exactly were you doing?
What was I doing? Who was I with? I was with.
Oh, I made notes. I think. Who you was with, I think.
Who you was with?
Who was with?
So I was with the axe throwing chick, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you were in town and she was in town as well.
Of course. Well, obviously I stayed with her.
Okay, well, she went to go see her like mentor, who is Harold Bettinger. You know that he is the priest of Lathander. He was the man that you brought in from outside the village, who had been horribly injured.
he hit all like the wood shrapnel in him, didn't he?
Yeah. The one that Nate saved.
So you're able to go with her, and he's in a lot better shape, but he's still really beat up. She goes and she has a very shaky conversation with him. Make me a insight check.
Too soon for this.
What, are you worried?
Welcome back. Roll a dice.
No, it's okay. I rolled a d20 this time, and you said insight?
Yes, please.
22.
So you notice that when she starts talking to him, she has a tiny like medallion of Lathander that she like pulls out, and she's talking to him, and she's gripping it just to the point you can see a trickle of blood coming out of her hand. Like she's gripping it so tight, and she's relaying to him like this harrowing story of how she died. And there was no light on the other side. There was nothing there. It was just black and mist. And she saw all of these people that she knew, and they were in torment. They were in this never-ending purgatory of being stuck. And she is just, she's like, it's, there's no point to any of this. This is all meaningless. There's nothing of meaning in any of what we're doing. All the sermons, everything you've ever told us is just a lie. Like the Morning Lord is a lie. This is a lie. And she's just kind of a mess. So she gives him back his medallion and she walks out. Your insight basically tells you that that's not a slight moment of questioning of faith. That is a breaking of faith.
Of course.
That is a complete and utter loss of feeling for what she had. She has lost her faith altogether. So she storms out. He just kind of bellows after her, but he can't get up because he's so hurt. And the door slowly slams shut as she leaves the house that he's in. And she kind of stands outside, and she just kind of, you can just see like, and again, she's strong. Like she's if we're looking for like a comparison, has anyone seen the wrestler Max the Impaler?
Yeah.
She kind of looks like that. So,
she's boss.
Just like shoulders are like heaving, and she's not like crying. It's just more like just that seething rage about like, I just feel like the entirety of everything I was counting on is a lie.
Well, obviously, I'm gonna want to take her mind off of it.
Okay. How do you plan on doing that?
Ask her if she wants to go throw some axes. Stop thinking about what is right in front of her for right now, and just get away from it, because it's all been so in the moment, and everything's been so overwhelming. To just take a step back, breathe.
She glares at you for a moment, and then she kind of begrudgingly nods, and she kind of says, I know somewhere where no one will bother us. And I don't have to listen to any of this.
That's the ideal spot.
So she walks you through the fields. You see the men from Beldam's fields kind of working. It's about midday. And people kind of look at you slightly, but whatever. As she walks towards the woods itself, she says, I know where there's a clearing. I go there sometimes when I'm upset. So you make your way into the woods itself, and it's this odd feeling because you feel like you're slowly stepping beyond.
Ooh.
You feel like you're, for lack of a better term, like you are getting into this darker and darker, thicker wood.
Man, if I die before I even make it back to the party, I'm so pissed.
We'll be real sad too.
Welcome back!
You didn't
See you
even make it back
later.
to us.
Not worth the drive.
I'll never remember your name.
Grim. What was his name? Magmar?
Oh,
Oh,
there's crickets.
Crickies.
Giant person number 5.
So you're moving through, and you like come to an area and make me a perception
I
check.
was gonna say, can I keep like an eye on my surroundings? Oh yeah, natural 20!
They're all the way over there now.
What are they, this one?
I have one from last time.
Yeah, if you have one from last time, or if you have
I also have a
I do have
inspiration.
Circumstance.
They're
I
not
have all
here.
of the prizes.
Oh, they're there. They're way
I
over
also
there.
have inspiration.
Could I please have a blue card, please?
So,
a card of
You have
blue.
to have the same one you had, though, is the thing.
Yeah,
No.
I remember what it is.
I have inspiration.
You just have a blue. I don't care.
I took a picture of it from last time.
Oh. Just take that one.
It's exactly the same one, actually.
You're welcome.
Even better. All right. You notice a line of people came through here.
I actually have a blue card, too.
In fact, you recognize the footprints because you can recognize Torin's footprints, and you can recognize Baldur's footprints pretty easily.
Right, because they're gigantic.
I got dragon feet.
He's got dragon feet.
I don't have boots on. I got like backwards
And Baldur's feet are his feetsies are just a little bit bigger than an average person. But the other thing you notice is there is a smell of rot in this area. There is of rotting vegetation. You also look around, and it looks like it was covered. But you rolled so well. You notice there's hoof prints as well, and not small ones.
Like from Boris before?
No, these are bipedal footprints.
Oh, that's not good.
And some of them are enormous.
Enormous?
Probably like large creatures.
Ooh.
I can't either. It won't let me do it either.
We should go for VIPs.
I know.
In addition, there's a couple trees that look like they were knocked down, probably by an axe.
So probably not like a leisurely stroll.
No, and she's noticed the same thing, and she basically kind of blurts out, to shh, it's like something happened here. So you can see that the footprints lead you all the way to a stream. And it's not really a stream, it's more like a very small river, but it's flowing very quickly because it rained very heavily earlier.
Do I notice anything other than the fact that it's flowing heavily? Do I notice like in and out or?
You can see where you can especially see across where it looks like a body hit the other side.
A body? like it got thrown?
No, like the print.
Like he jumped and didn't quite make it.
Oh.
Snow Angel.
As you do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
As I do, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe looks like a size of someone you know. You never know.
You're like, Kalshar made that.
I know what's going on here. Someone rolled a 3. So I obviously let her know that, I know that these were my people.
She kind of looks at you and she goes like, we don't cross the river.
They apparently did. You
Well,
can
I don't
see.
know. And look, there's an extra set of prints.
Like more than just the party.
Well, there's another set of footprints besides your friends.
They must have had somebody with them. Because I clearly wasn't there. I've been with you.
She looks perplexed. You start to notice that whenever she looks perplexed or frustrated, she tends to pull on her right ear of a tell. And she says, well, I'm unsure of what to do next. I don't know how you want to proceed.
You want to cross this river? I've been telling you that there's no point in staying back at that town. There's no point in any of that. If you've never crossed the river before, why not go on a new adventure? I think we can both handle ourselves.
Make me a persuasion check.
Do it.
Oh,
no.
that was good. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
You still get this.
I have
as
inspiration.
the one.
Oh.
It was a
It was a 1. You went from a 20 to a 1,
I went from
man.
19, 20 to 1.
the highest of heights, the lowest.
Natural 20!
What is going on with you tonight?
Look at
Wow.
Can I move these closer to me? Since
Killing.
Please
I'm
do.
handing them out. Okay. What are these ones for?
19,
That's combat.
20,
Combat.
1,
Okay.
20. It's all or nothing for me tonight, baby.
Thank you.
Just making up for missing a session, guys.
Orange
Get it
light.
all in.
Super hot. Super
So what would this be? Persuasion?
yeah.
In total, it was 25.
She seems at first almost adverse to the idea. Like she keeps looking back over her shoulder. You can tell she like shuffles her feet almost like she's going to walk away. And then when you say, you know, I've been telling this forever, like there's literally nothing for you back there. She kind of looks at you. She kind of grits her teeth and she shakes her head. And she's like, then let's cross this river.
All right.
So we'll get back to that.
Yes.
The rest of you, let's start with Allie. Allie, you walked away with Diana at the end of the last episode after the your companions told the tale of how they committed regicide on Ravnica.
Some sort of big deal.
Diana,
So there can't be crickets here.
well, they could. You're in the Feywild.
It's creepy.
Well, sort of.
Do you have creepy crickets?
I can have whatever I want.
And like one nondescript frog.
That happens.
Sure, why not?
Show back
So, like, she stomps off, and she's very much, like, irritated. Like, I can't believe that they would just not be honest with me. Or that we would be honest with anybody. This is they're supposed to be heroes, and then I just hear that that they just murder people, that they just killed people. I just
It's a lot to take in. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't live in a giant glass house, but
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Stress piano.
does it make you angry?
It makes me very disappointed. These are the people that we're supposed to be counting on, and you can't trust them. I feel like I can't trust them.
Where I come from, there are heroes well known throughout history. It's literally my job to know history and to spin tales and share stories. And sometimes these heroes don't have the cleanest of pasts. There's one specific who acted as a mercenary in his living years, and now he's regaled as a god. Doesn't necessarily mean that his actions in life were fantastic, but he redeemed himself enough to be revered.
But these people killed their friends. They killed their leader. They did it for no reason.
That we know of.
That would be if I went into the village and I killed everyone. Why would I do that? I can't understand. And it scares me that I can't understand. And now I'm here, and this is the most fascinating thing I've ever been through my entire life. But I'm here with people that I'm afraid of. I'm literally, for the first time, I'm afraid of these people. They scare me. because now I know that they'll kill anyone.
Well, one or two of them are a bit more uncouth than the others and need a bath badly. They're not the worst of individuals. Trust me, I've dealt with worse. I'm not saying you're not right to distrust them. I'm not saying you're incorrect in feeling the way that you feel, but I would be remiss if I did not give them the opportunity to explain the story in more detail. Maybe their families were in danger. Maybe their friends were in danger. Maybe there were circumstances we just don't understand.
But you would think they would say that they would tell us that.
Oh, and that's why I'm angry as hell.
But I'm disappointed. I'm confused, and I don't know what. I am afraid to sleep in the same room as them because I don't know what they're capable of.
Can I make a persuasion check?
Yeah,
I'm trying to convince her that that is not a concern.
Yeah.
Please don't roll like garbage. I didn't roll like garbage.
Yay.
18, 25.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, she's like, when you talk to her, you're like very focused and very calming. Some of it just, you understand how to relay this information to someone. It's your bardic training. And you bring her fear level down tremendously. She takes a deep breath and she says, I trust you. I trust you. So I'll follow you. And if you say that we're doing something, then I'll do it until I feel like I can't do it.
Give me an opportunity to speak with them and see if I can glean a bit more information as well. From what I can see, this place is a bit more manageable than where we were. We're not in the worst position.
She keeps just like looking around, and she looks up, and again looks up, and this dome is the sky. I mean, you can see that the night goes on forever, and it's just full of endless stars. And she just, I mean, this room is basically see-through. It's just crystal, and she just kind of like takes a moment, and her pupils dilate, and you can almost see like this moment of just like, I am in the most amazing place I could possibly be. It's that ebb and flow of being deathly afraid and being completely amazed by the situation. And she says, okay, okay. And then she slowly steps away towards a nearby balcony, stands on it, looking outward.
Allie will hold normal half-smile composure until she turns around, and then her entire expression shifts on a dime. And she looks livid and wants answers. And wants answers now.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages.
There's a waiting list. Get rid of her.
Is it time to yeet the bard into the sun?
So he's squishy enough. It should be pretty easy.
Are you near the balcony?
So, as you remember, the rest of you...
Not near the balcony.
The rest of you, you were being attended to by these shadowy elves. And after Allie and Diana walked away,
They ride on cats.
in unison, you heard them say, sometimes the weak must be called.
It's been a good relationship this whole time.
Listen, she was concerned about your ass.
Oh, no, not me.
For like the briefest of moments.
So, you see Allie and Diana walk away, and they're having a conversation that looks not heated, but definitely passionate. Like, there's definitely like an explanation, and someone's calming someone else down. You hear the elves say that. What are you going to do? What are the four of you planning on doing with this alarming statement that chillingly comes out of about 11 mouths at one time in complete symphony?
That's real weird.
That's pretty weird. You gonna fight to the death for entertainment later or something? Or?
Again, they all look at you when you say that. All 11 heads turn and they said, if you wish.
Cool.
Sometimes people are strong in different ways. You can't underestimate anyone.
They all turn and just look at you. And they turn and all look away.
Torn is ignoring them as he was last time, just like keeping his distance, sort of watching but not engaging, sort of processing things on his own.
Well, then we definitely don't want to waste resources that may help us later.
They don't engage in real conversation unless you are asking them questions. But if you're like making statements, they
Can we
sit
dismiss
there.
them?
You can try.
What if we need something?
Well, can we just ask them to go wait outside the door? Can you guys go outside until we call you?
You hear in unison, we are not allowed to leave, but they do dissipate throughout the room and just kind of lounge about the room.
Okay, as long as they go away a little bit.
How big's the room? Is it a big room? Or-
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like 30 by 30. It's a circle.
Should we make them all go stand in one corner? Go stand in the corner.
I'm not gonna,
Facing away from us.
it doesn't exactly work
The
that
elves in
way.
the corner?
No, you can put the elves in the corner. It's fine.
No, it puts baby in a corner.
Are they at least away enough that we could have conversations without them?
No, you can have a conversation without them.
Without them listening in? Probably not.
Well, you can maybe stealth check when you have a conversation.
Stealth check conversations? I've never done that before.
Well, it's first time for everything, isn't it?
Stealthy.
never
So what do you want to
Succeeded
discuss?
before.
There's 4 of you.
Balder's actually gonna pull Torin aside.
Okay.
That little Manda dragon.
Furbolg to dragon.
Purple dragon.
What do you need?
Just wanted to give you a quick heads up. Don't need to ask how I know this, but I got it on pretty good word that Tezzeret made it through too. He's in New Prudence, apparently. So there's something called the train there that can take him wherever he wants to go, but sounds like he might be staying put for a minute if we can get over there after this, assuming we make it through this.
Get back to Ravnica, maybe.
Maybe cashing some debts. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, let's keep it on the back burner for now.
Yeah, I'm just
Let's
saying.
get out of this situation first.
Yeah, I'm just saying we may come down to a vote on where we get transported to. So figured it might be good to have a few in our back pocket.
Agreed.
Cool. They're always easy to talk to.
Are you, Core, Roya, are you doing anything?
No. She's gonna try to position herself closer to those two, but not like as like a spy, but as like a, hey, I'm still here, it's okay. Kind of like casual.
Cool. Can I roll stealth in my conversation?
I'm not going to need you to do that. You guys moved
That's fine.
enough away.
Is the entire side of the room a balcony, or is it just like one?
No, there's like
Yeah.
openings to step out on
Very-
balconies.
It's
Okay.
disconcerting how much he's asking about balconies.
I'm gonna go to a separate balcony and
Okay.
just kind of look out. What do I see?
Longingly.
You step out and there's like, it's super misty around the ground, like almost foggy. But you can see movement. It looks like almost like dancing.
Okay.
The trees are dark. The leaves are a dark green. The bark is almost a black in color. It's very It's a strange for it to this dark to be almost vibrant, and it has an unsettling reflection with just this extremely pale moonlight. But the thing that catches your attention is across in the middle of a lake, in the middle of kind of this area, there's a tower.
Can I see anything by the tower or any details?
You can see through the tower.
Okay.
And then the tower, looking out, you see one person. And it's almost like the moon is shining down on just that one person.
I'm assuming they're too far away to make any details.
Make me a perception check. You're in a weird kind of sub-realm. Space and time doesn't work exactly right.
13.
It's definitely a female.
That's the guy who got us.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's all you can tell.
Okay.
so it's good that
And that's in the middle of the lake or the other side of the lake?
It's in the middle of the lake.
Okay. It's like a tiny island.
Doing it, basically. Like, we didn't
Is
know
there
it was
like a
gonna
dock or a
happen.
bridge?
Or like his cat spot.
No.
Okay, so back to Orin and Magnar and Alzina. So what do you want to? How do you want to cross this river?
How wide is it?
It's about 10 feet.
How deep does roughly is it?
You're not sure. It's moving quite quickly though. You can tell because of the rains that the banks are treacherous on both sides.
The banks are treacherous on both sides.
So it's like it's carved out. Like if you've ever seen a slough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the tops, you're like, I'm not sure how sturdy they are.
Ooh. Could I use? That might work. This is moving fast, kind of treacherous on both sides. Okay. So can I use Maximilian's Earthen Grasp
Love that spell.
to get me across? To get us across? One at a time?
Like put it up in the middle and just like a hand up and
Yeah.
then jump across.
Because it occupies a 5-foot space, like a 5-foot square.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you. I can't see where they are, but I'll give you a inspiration for that.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
That's a very.
I'll just mark it on my thing.
That's an inventive use of that spell.
It's not meant for anything else other than just to get me out of
Yeah,
things.
you really have found cool ways to use that spell.
Yeah, I think that seems like the safest, most for sure way to get across, other than risking, because we're both decently strong, but at the same time,
Well, she just lets you know she looks at it and she's like, she's carrying enough crap. She's like, if I miss that, I'll drown. Like I'll get pulled down river and drown. So I could.
Swim.
Well, she can, but she's like got enough axes and everything else on that she's like, yeah. I mean, I could take my stuff off and throw it and hope it gets all the way across.
yeah, but we don't want to risk that, so let's just do this. After
So-
you, my lady.
So she's a little like, this seems like a bad idea.
It looks
Um,
dope AF, as the kids say.
Do they?
I don't know. I'd assume.
I don't know either.
Okay, well, she will jump across and easily make it.
Nice.
She hopscotches across.
Yeah, jumping 5 feet's way easier than jumping 10.
And it shakes a little bit, but She's like, no, this is easy.
All right, I'll give it a go.
Make me an acrobatics check, please.
Watch me fuck this up.
It's all right. You're not the only
Nah,
one that
14.
Yep, you easily make it as well.
I give it a high five as I'm leaving.
did.
Thanks, buddy. And after I'm through, it gives me a thumbs up.
Nice.
Then disappears.
It sinks into the
Yeah.
heart like the terminal.
Gives you a thumbs up and oh yeah, beautiful.
Oh, yeah. All right. So you get across, and you're expecting kind of this embankment that leads into a short set of trees. And you kind of move across, and you step, and boom, you're not there at all.
Whoa!
You are in a glade, and it is dark. The moon is full above you. It smells like everything. Your senses are overwhelmed.
Okay.
The grass is wet with dew. There's a low-hanging fog over the ground. You're just kind of like taken aback for a moment.
It's kind of humid and gross. And...
Well, it's not even humid and gross. It's just kind of just so shocking. Like everything is so much. It's like every color is like popping. Every sound is just kind of illuminated. And then, or not illuminated, sound wouldn't be illuminated. Every sound is kind of stronger than it normally would. The smells are just like so enticing and so much. You just kind of, you just feel like there's on sensory overload. God, I can't talk tonight.
I am a sensory
Yeah,
overlord.
it's like
that's a
true.
boss.
That's my
That's a
metal
boss.
band. That's a Silver Age super.
It's got like every single sensory organ that every animal has, like a proboscis and like fly eyes and like weird feelers and like
It just looks dirty.
overly stimulated. It's constantly
It's like a turd.
overly stimulated.
That's me like about
Yes.
half the time. So you're standing there. And I want you to make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh, son. Perception at disadvantage?
Mhm.
Sure. That's an 8.
You can also. This is for your companion currently.
You give it.
Is that Jesus?
It's for Alzina.
Jesus.
You just need to replace the longsword with an axe, and the short sword with an axe, and the crossbow with
And
An
that's
axe?
throwing axes. Yeah. All of her weapons are axes. So all of them axes.
She feels really bready.
Okay,
I think she likes axes.
that's fine.
I heard you like axes, bro. So roll for her as well, please.
With disadvantage?
Yep. And this for Diana.
Natural 1!
I'll take that regardless. Man, you are feasting famine tonight. Amazing.
no, that's not a PC roll.
Man.
Here you go, Nate.
The slightly.
Oh no! Look what you've done to yourself.
It just says you're dead.
You drew the Eye of Sauron
I know.
upon
A
yourself.
small item on your person goes missing.
Oh no!
Find something and take it off your
It's
sheet.
the most precious musical instrument.
All my items are real big though.
Well, not to find something small.
Do you have any like pan flutes
Um,
or anything like
What,
that?
what'd you guys both get?
My drum.
So she got a 3 total, and I got an 8 total.
Okay, you're both taken by surprise.
Ah, shit!
So they get a surprise round.
It's a trap.
Can I
Blinking
use the fortuitous circumstance card?
You want to?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens? Do you want me to describe what's happening and then you can use it?
Well, I feel like we're getting ambushed
Yeah, you're getting ambushed.
by.
2 dogs blink into existence. They're long, very muscular. Their ears are kind of off and pointed with a little tuft of fur towards the end. They behind their eyes, there's definitely intelligence.
Don't matter.
Well.
Nice and cool.
Gosh. Yeah, I think we should probably get away.
Luckily, they love Goliaths.
Giant eagle swoops down, picks him up, and tosses him across the room.
What are they like? Are they right next to each other? Are they in a line?
No, they surprised you, so they're blinking right into you like
Ah,
to
shit.
attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this to like duck out of the way and take off.
Okay, so you're going to
Take off the way that seems the safest way out. That
there-
isn't the opposite way, because obviously
okay.
they went. My companions, if you will, went through here.
You're pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Do you want to read it?
I know what it says. It's a glade, so it's just like an empty area. There's a forest all the way around it, so you're not sure where would be like the safe exit point.
Do I see their footprints
No,
anywhere?
you do not.
Straight ahead then.
Okay. So there, one will then just, that's your fortuitous event. It misses you, and you like run right by. You literally, as it starts to appear, like you just happen to catch it out of the corner of your eye, and you literally run through it as it appears. So it like slides into the wet grass, and as a dog does, it takes a second to turn its feet like a dog on a hardwood floor. However, Alzina is not so lucky.
No, no.
Ah, shit.
Does a 16 hit her?
Was 16 hit her? Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah. Chomps, she uses the bracer on her forearm to back up. One thing I just kind of want to point out, one thing I kind of heard on a podcast that I want to try as a group that I think would be interesting. So before you roll any dice, before you say, I want to make an attack, just tell me what you're doing. So rather than mechanic, they call it like action over mechanic.
Mm.
So if you're like, I want to attack with my sword, go, I swing with my sword, I'm aiming for this thing's head, and just tell me the story, and then we'll figure out the mechanic afterwards.
All right, so are we kind of just back and forth?
No, now we're in initiative.
Them. Magnar's at a 14.
You can just go on one turn.
Okay. Yeah.
So since you're kind of like companions,
Yeah.
you just go on one turn. They'll go last. They
All right.
rolled real bad.
Then are they pretty close to each other?
Now they are.
Okay. I'm going to cast. I'm going to see obviously that she got attacked. Spin around and cast Sinlik's Snowball Swarm
Whoa.
at a 3rd level.
Whoa.
If you want to reskin all your spells to have like one theme, you can. Like if you want your dirt to be your theme or like stone to be your theme.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, just reskin the snowball spell to be like rocks or stones.
Flurry of stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Hail.
Perfect.
I like the idea of like
Marble
picking up
massacre.
gravel and throwing it at someone's eye.
It's,
Make up a wizard name.
Pocket sand.
It's a dex save of 15. They're probably dexterous, but
Not as well, they're pretty dexterous. I take that back. 13 is what I got. I have to roll it for both. They both failed.
both failed.
Take that, blink dogs.
They take 19 points of damage.
Dang.
Okay. Wow. That's a
That's
bunch
some
of
serious.
bullshit. It's her turn.
Yeah, and is she within melee range of them?
She has one bit her, and she like,
Right.
basically pushed it off with her bracer.
Then she's gonna attack twice with her axes. Does a
She has a not a hand axe. She has
Battle axe, probably.
Which is the one? Which is versatile?
Battle axe.
She has a
Torin has
battle
one too.
axe.
Yeah, she has a battle axe. Yeah, I just can't remember the stats on it.
Okay. It's 1d8.
Yeah, you can throw the hand axe. but
Battle
battle
axe,
axe,
1d8
you get
slash. Unless it's a versatile. If you're using it two-handed, you can use a 1d10.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. And can she still multi-attack? Was it two-handed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No. We'll say that she can. If she uses it one-handed, she can attack twice. If she uses it two-handed, she can attack once.
Oh yeah. She'll use it one-handed. She'll blast it off like that and uppercut with the axe that the blink dog that's most directly on her for a 19 to hit.
19 to hit hits.
So that's a D8 for 8 damage.
She drops the first one.
Nice. Then she's gonna she's gonna swing through that one. Is she close enough to the other
She
one?
can move and attack.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
She's gonna take 2 big strides towards the other one and swing down for a 22.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 13 points of damage.
That one is dead as well.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Nice.
She licks the blood off the fucking axe.
Does she?
Yeah.
Or like who took the
Wow.
dogs out.
Do you have a? Okay. She actually
So good.
she stops and she leans down on one knee, and she is cleaning her axe off. Make me a perception check. Actually, make me an insight check.
Insight check. Okay. Oh. No. 5.
5.
5. Yeah.
Something's
great.
off. You're not sure
Great.
what it is. You just know something's not right.
Obviously, I rushed by her side and. Well, that was impressive.
Maybe a perception check.
Mother. Natural one.
Oh.
Oh no! Just give that to me.
But.
You wanna give it to Nate again?
Hey,
Hey.
I didn't taunt him this time.
I'll use
This
my.
time.
I'll use my.
Could happen again.
Do you want to use your inspiration?
Yeah, I'll use that.
I mean, you just got it back, so.
Not too much better. 8.
Better is better.
Yeah, that was 4 better.
What you do perceive is like she is pale and she is sweating, and her eyes are just pinpoints. Like she is just, and her grip around the haft of her axe is just like white knuckled. And she is slightly just shuddering. It's not even shaking. She is.
I tell her, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Come on, we've got a lot more to deal with, I would assume.
She takes a moment. She stands up, walks 2 steps, leans over, throws up.
I tell her there's nobody else that I would trust to have my back than her, and I will have her back. And let's get through this. And we push on towards across the glade.
She looks around. One thing you weren't here for, I don't think. Her eyes are now 2 separate colors.
Yep.
She says, "I can smell everything. I can taste it on the air. Can you see them? They're just beyond the woods."
Is there any place they aren't on the woods?
She points straight ahead.
Let's go.
"No, we can't go that way. Don't you see them?"
No. I tell.
Make me perception check.
Ah, shit. No, boy, no. I was so hot out of the gate. It's
You
so
were
bad.
so crazy, Todd.
Unless I can use my important ability.
What's it do?
That's where I have 2 rolls pre-stored. I have a 14 and a 19 pre-stored from last
Yeah,
time.
you can do that. I'll say that's fine.
All right, I'll use the 14 for a total of 17.
You see tiny lights moving throughout the forest.
Lights
Yeah. Some of them,
seems okay.
you were like, I know what those are. Those are fireflies. They blink out. They move. They move on this soft wind, and then they fade into the mist and fade out. Some of them don't seem to blink.
Seems safe.
She just kind of looks at you and says, I can smell death on the wind. And it can smell us, and all at once is our life. She grips her axe and stands. And she starts to back away from the tree line, and you start to see slowly these tiny orbs moving out of the tree line.
Kind of like what we dealt with in front of the house.
I don't remember you dealing with this in front
Because
of
we
us.
dealt with like specters of people. I
Yeah,
guess.
no, not at all. These are like literally like tiny glowing orbs. I will let you make a nature check.
Boy, this is gonna be good, guys.
You can both make a nature check.
Jesus fuck. Dirty 20.
Oh.
And what's nature?
Nature's wisdom, I believe.
Int.
Oh, is it int? Really?
Yep.
Int.
Which she has a 0 modifier, so. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, for moi.
You don't remember exactly the tales because you've heard so many different stories. But you seem to remember that the Golgari swarm back in Ravnica would sometimes have spirits that would be restless. And although they would use the bodies to create fungal zombies and things like that, the souls would escape and would not, even if they owed debts to the organization that escapes my mind right now that traps ghosts, which I can't remember who they are.
The Ghostbusters?
No, it's not the Ghostbusters.
That'd help.
It's like the Catholic Church mixed with the mafia. I can't
Right.
remember who they are.
Demir?
Is there?
No, they're like the spies. I can't remember who it is. But these things would sometimes be in the lower cities, and they were floating death.
Yeah, but
They
they can't hurt us.
Consumed life. The name that pops in your head is Willow the Wisp. Or Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp's a Marvel villain.
So they can hurt you. Yup.
If the legends be true, which we'll find out pretty soon.
So-
what are you doing, Allie?
Cliffhanger!
Seeing as
Yeah, I'm not making it back,
Roya's
guys.
probably
It's
the
been real.
closest to us in proximity, because, she was being all nonchalant. Ellie's going to...
I'm smooth. I don't know if you know
Super
this.
smooth. She's going to attempt to go talk to Roya
Okay.
and give a little bit more info. So she'll kind of like saunter down the stairs, and she looks a lot calmer. Like she's very good at schooling her face.
Okay.
She'll look like she's gonna bitch slap
She
me
doesn't
right
look
now.
like she's gonna like throw something, but she'll walk up close. She'll just kind of like saunter on up and be, well, one crisis averted. I think we've managed to calm our friend to the point where I don't think she's going to live in existential fear of all of you for the next few weeks.
Well, I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. It's probably not the best thing for her to hear right now.
I don't really think it's the best thing for me to hear either, and I'd still somehow love to hear the story. Because I just spent 10 minutes talking our friend off a cliff, explaining that sometimes good people have to take very, very hurtful actions. And I would very much like to know if that is actually the case.
Sometimes it's the one to save many, though, Sometimes you have to look at the really, really big picture.
Elaborate.
This is where I'm going to struggle because I don't remember our backstory that as well as I should.
You agreed. You got into bed basically with a stranger named Tezzeret who convinced you to sabotage a project of your guildmaster,
Which that I
Niv
remember.
Mezit, which caused a massive explosion,
But why
which
did we
killed everybody, including you thought you were going to die as well.
Why did we agree to it though?
You were disenfranchised.
We all had our
We all kind of
reasons.
had our own reasons, I think.
You were disenfranchised with where you were in the guild.
Then I guess I'm not sure if Roya knows her reason because that wasn't like where the lab she was at is not her original lab.
No.
She was helping out.
You were like associated with like Baldur though, weren't you?
Yeah.
So maybe that was something to do with it, I think.
I'm starting to realize I think I got sucked into this. I didn't realize I was betrayed myself.
Sorry.
No.
That furballs and ego terrorists.
Well, there's a lot I can't say for our team members.
Who can?
I mean, they have to tell their own stories,
Can I hear him?
but sometimes
Are you how loud are you talking?
Oh, she's not talking loudly at all.
Okay.
She's being
No.
very quiet.
You can make an insight check, and you guys can make a stealth check, and whoever gets higher is
Insight?
yeah.
16.
And a stealth check.
see, I'm not trying to be stealthy, so I'm just gonna let it ride.
So I
Oh,
do not
that's actually pretty
detect it.
good.
Torn is doing his
22.
own thing.
You can hear bits and pieces of what Roy is saying, but you can't hear what Allie's saying at all.
I'm sure you heard things like, the other team members. It sometimes happens for a reason.
Baller will walk over and say, hello, ladies.
Thank you, because now all I hear is Val Venus's theme in my head.
Penny for your thoughts. Penny is a type of currency we use on Ravnica.
Thanks.
He's trying to buy your
It's
thumbs down.
Nobody here knows that.
It's the worst currency.
Lord.
She'll kind of like sit herself down, and she looks.
Well,
very-
there's no chair, but
There's no, like,
your body
chair.
language kind of shows that you'd want one, and the elves bring you a
Oh,
duvet to
perfect.
sit down on.
Great. She'll kind of like just lounge back a little bit. So,
So,
I'd love some elaboration on this entire situation.
They set a table down and they pour a drink and set it there, and then they move back to where they were.
a little part specific. What's bothering you about us? About
Well,
our story?
For one, the fact that there seems to be blatant omissions. I'd very much like to know what the circumstances were that led to this particular act.
I think we all have our reasons. I can tell you mine. We worked in a laboratory, like I told you. Laboratory that I worked for was in charge of making new creatures out of old creatures. And while he's telling the story, he's sort of continually casting minor illusion and making these sort of miniature versions of these horrific creations and some of the experiments he saw them being tested out on. And I don't know, I hit a point where I couldn't help that out anymore. I mean, people died because of what we did, and thousands of people died because of what they did, and even more would have died if they kept doing it. So when the opportunity came along, it seemed like the right thing to do. And I mean, I get it if you got a problem with it, but
Did you lose family?
no. My family's not from Ravnica.
Hmm.
I'm not from Ravnica. I didn't know anybody there.
Did anybody in the party lose anyone of importance?
I don't think so.
I don't think anyone has ever expressed that or not.
I don't think so. They were, I mean, they're...
I would say this. Remember, that when you left, the world was going to absolute hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
So if you did have family on Ravnica, there's a chance they may not have made it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have family in the laboratory, but I have family still there.
But they were acquaintances. I mean, folks you work with. They weren't deep relationships, at least not for me. I get it if you got a problem with what we did, but if we're going to continue on together, you should probably also know that I'm not sorry.
I almost appreciate your honesty.
No one's-
Almost appreciate that.
Yeah, no one's perfect.
Quick,
I'm sure.
it kind of gets me to thinking, though. We've met a lot of people since we've been here. I mean, we've saved a lot of people since we've been here. You know that. Feels like everyone we've met who isn't from here did some pretty horrible shit to get here. So, just makes me wonder, how'd you get here? What'd you do?
I am going to use.
Bum, bum, bum.
No,
While
I
you
knew
do
this was
that,
coming.
while you do that and figure that out, what are
This is good shit, man. No, I love it.
what are Torin and Core doing? Because you're not involved in this conversation currently.
Not at all.
Torin is watching the conversation, but he's not speaking. But he does have something like in his hand, like a small object. It's hard to see what it is, and he's just sort of like thumbing it. And it doesn't really look like he's.
Okay, make me
It's sort of
perception check.
An idle action.
Make me a perception check.
Does he have a worry stone?
Core, what are you doing?
So I'm on the balcony still.
He's a giant snake.
I'm not a giant snake yet.
You can look over, and there is
8.
Diana and the next one over. Okay, you're surprised.
I don't want to mess with her. I want to talk to one of the elf people.
Okay, you can beckon one, and
Yeah.
they'll walk out.
So, what's in the tower over there?
That is the Moonlight King's consort, the mortal that he keeps.
Oh, okay. Do you have a looking glass or a telescope I could use?
I can take you to the observatory.
Okay, that'll end well, I'm sure. Oh.
It's fine.
probably
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Bye, Nate.
Where is that?
It's close.
Okay.
It's in the building.
Am I allowed to leave?
Yes.
Okay.
You
Let's
just
go.
will leave with escort. You are honored guest.
An escort to your house. Deal.
Alright, that's fine. We'll go.
So, two elves walk with Core, and they walk kind of through the room, and they walk. And it looks like a solid wall,
As we
like
leave,
crystal, and you walk right through it.
okay. Like as we're on our way out, I'm gonna say to Torin, since the others are having a conversation.
Torin's not there. You look over there, and he's gone.
All right, then I will say to no one because I'm not gonna get in the middle of that.
Also, you knew that he had kept a mortal in somewhere and locked in a tower.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know if you remembered that.
Yep.
Torin, you're outside.
Interesting. Just all of a sudden,
No, you.
I've just like walked off.
You are standing there, and you're touching your object and watching. That's what the kids are calling it these days.
Torin likes to watch.
I'm a grown up.
And you hear this whisper, this careless whisper.
More whispers.
Scales and new instruments.
Why do I have to hear all the whispers?
And a tiny golden light that is very similar to the writing on your armor draws you through again, and you step through what looks like you felt compelled, and you walk through what you think is a wall, and you end up walking down a spiral staircase that leads you into a courtyard in front of the building.
Okay.
And there are tiny lights all around you. Not fireflies, and not will-o-wisps. These seem to be some type of fey creature, and they're whispering to you about all you keep picking up words, and the main word you keep hearing is the dragon.
Are they coming from any particular direction, or is it just like all around?
They're just moving around you.
Is there like is it too many to like get a rough?
There's probably about 45
Okay.
of them.
Are they like just little tiny?
They're tiny guys.
Itty motes of light.
Little motes of light. If like you put your hand out, they land and they dim.
Mhm.
You can see like the tiny sprite, what they look like.
Oh, sure. What do they look like? I guess.
They're dressed in like tiny leaves,
Okay.
but the leaves are silver, so they've got like a almost an armor on. They've got tiny little pokey rapier swords.
Okay.
Their hair is in very odd, strange shapes, very asymmetrical and almost organic in nature. Large eyes that are just pure black. Their skin is a bluish gray. You can almost see the veins beneath them. And when you're holding them, you can feel their hearts just beating almost like a hummingbird's wings.
Sure.
The thing is, too, when they stop, there's this smell. There's this like smell that you get when cherry blossoms are on the wind. It's intoxicatingly sweet.
Sorry, like if I hold up my hand and one lands on it, what does it do?
It like looks at you, cocks its head sideways, and again you're hearing kind of this cacophony of different voices, and the big word you keep hearing repetitively is dragon. Do you speak
Draconic?
Fey?
Fey? No, I do not.
Okay. One stops and looks at you and points to another building, and then shoots off towards that, and then they all slowly kind of almost like a swarm move towards that.
And I can't. If I turn around behind me, I don't see the building that we were in when I was with the group.
You could walk. I mean, it's misty and foggy out.
And am I just like in a clearing, like just trees around me and stuff?
There's buildings. You know, it's like a foresty LV thing.
Does it look like outside of where we were?
Yeah, it's definitely outside. It's an LV, timey-wimey,
But no,
wibbly
like
wobbly.
that's way more descriptive than it sounds, though. Let's be honest.
It's very ethereal.
Sure.
Like you know the ground is there. You can feel the wet grass against your toes, but there's enough of a fog you can't see it.
Okay.
You see other just humongous trees, and you see other crystalline buildings, but you don't see through them as well. They're a little bit more opaque. And the building that these are rushing to is not a crystalline building. It looks darker, blacker. The one thing you do see is you see these very elaborate what's the word I'm looking for? My brain just ran away. Stained glassed windows with light behind them kind of pushing out.
Is there any particular shape to the stained glass windows, or are they just kind of like a
It's hard to tell. Make me a perception check. It's night.
Natural 1. Dude.
Oh.
You can't see. I'll take a red card, please.
I actually want to use my inspiration
Perfect.
to re-roll that.
This is not good.
You guys were killing it for a while. Now, not so much.
I was doing great, guys.
Sweet. Okay, so
As long as it's
perception.
now and before any
21.
potential combat.
You look at it. It takes a little bit for you to see the pattern. In fact, the first time you look at it, you're like, "Why can't I see the goddamn sailboat?" It's a
Oh, look,
scooter.
a scooter.
Sailboat.
You know what? There is no easy bunny.
It takes you a second, but then you see it. It's a dragon. It's a large green dragon.
Well, that's a strange dragon to me. And I'm going to, I guess, very cautiously try and stealthily follow the
Okay, the sprites
light.
literally light up a path so you can follow
Okay.
them to there. All right, back to where you guys were.
There's like the imagery of like this glowing swarm of like 50 fairies, and he's like tiptoeing stickily through.
so
like while they're like
suspicious.
dancing
Don't be
around, like
suspicious.
yeah.
I hope he's just going like.
Making arrows that are like friggin' it's just a great, really good imagery. I really
That's so
like it.
good.
Anyway, back to
Love
us.
it.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Okay.
What were you up to?
Getting real intense.
Oh,
Jeez,
you know what? Before we
yeah.
get to that, I want to go back here.
Sure. No, do it.
Man, I was trying to live.
I was trying to live.
Just
I
trying
know
to
how you feel
live.
now, man. I know how you feel. It's going to be like 2 for 1.
Okay,
One episode.
so
It's gonna make up for the episodes he
Make a
didn't kill
wisdom
anyone.
saving throw.
Yeah,
Right?
6 in a row.
It's gonna be the red wedding all over
Does
again
that
tonight.
fortuitous
Like-
event help more than just dodging the dog?
no.
Fuck.
No, you
Not
dodged
getting another
you
one.
dodged a surprise attack.
You're
So,
He was like, so?
Gotta get that fortuitous session card.
And before I started on this, did I long rest?
oh yeah.
Okay. So I want to do that before I start taking damage, like I know I will.
So, I would like you to roll me a d6, please.
D6? Sure. Sure. I would love to. 1.
Out of the woods, you see 5 of these tiny balls coming towards you.
Sure. Not too worried.
They don't seem to be like on a beeline. They just seem to be
Yet.
spreading out and slowly moving towards you.
And she said that.
Alzina, she's just like, they're death.
But she said that she saw kind of an opening in the clearing, right? Or in the woods where they aren't. Like one spot where they aren't.
She says we have to run through them.
Sure.
She's like, we could die. I could die.
Nope. Not on my watch.
Okay. Do you want to roll initiative then?
You say, do I?
Do I?
Yes. They're slowly moving towards you, but they're not actively being aggressive.
Could we run around them?
That would be initiative.
Fuck it. We'll just... The shortest path from
Okay.
A to out of here.
All right, they're going in 15.
We're not.
They have an insane dexterity bonus.
We're going at
Yeah, they do.
7.
Okay, so they're gonna go first. So the moment you start to move, like the moment you're like standing there and you go, kind of like you're like on 3, we're running, and she's like, I don't know, and you're like, no, on 3, we're running.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you step like actively to run, they just move. So 3 of them will get there this round. And they are going to attack. Do you want odd or even?
I'll take odd.
Okay, you're gonna get 2 and she's gonna get 1.
Sure.
Roll a Constitution saving throw twice.
Yeah, that one's gonna do it. That one is 22. And a 23.
You make it on both. You could feel this trying to consume your life. For her,
As a wizard, I've already given up my life to...
armor class 15.
Fuck out of here.
All right. So you can see like almost
Just real tough.
spark of electricity fire across from it as she's moving, and it hits, and you can see like her fingers going like this, but she just buckles down and keeps moving. So the second group, they will take a reaction. They're going to hold their action, and the minute you start to move past them, they're going to attack.
Sure.
So you're just running, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's no point in attacking him, I don't think.
Yep. So you're going to double move?
Yeah.
All right. So they're going to, you odd or even?
I'm odd. I'm taking odd.
They're 2 again on you.
Try.
Or that you were rolling really well earlier.
Yeah.
I rolled a 19 and a 20.
Ooh, sure.
Ooh.
So 24 and 23.
Oh, yeah, they're both going to hit me.
Okay.
For sure.
Here, reroll that crit.
Oh, the same.
21.
Sure.
I still rolled a 17.
At least it's not a crit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the double damage of that and that would be not fun.
Because, yeah, shield's not going to help me.
A total of 19 lightning damage.
Wait, lightning damage?
Yeah. And a crit on her.
Inspiration.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Sorry.
And
How much do we care about her?
and shield only works on me, right?
I'd have to look at the spot.
It only works on you.
It only works on me.
Anyone want to throw a coin in for her?
I don't have one.
Alright, I'll re-roll that crit. I'm rolling some hot dice now. And I miss completely.
Yeah, you do.
Like, she just, it singes by her.
I know
You
For once.
you can
Don't let them
smell
eat me.
you can smell the ozone from the electricity, and you can smell how it burns the leather of her armor as she runs by it. These things move by you, and the minute you run, they start to turn very slowly and move towards where you're headed into the wood.
Yeah, well, we just moved 60 feet, so.
You did, and they attacked.
So we're out of the
They
range
move really
now, right?
fast. No.
They said they move slowly.
They moved slowly up, but they
Oh.
can move fast. They can move faster than you can.
Bastards.
You move through the. You're into the woods and it's dark. I would like you to roll me a survival check.
Yeah, probably. 21.
That tells me nothing. 21.
21, yeah.
You are able to kind of like dodge and move through. I mean, you're moving by the light of the moon, this massive moon that's pushing through the branches and bramble to illuminate where you're at. But you're in this dark, thick, ominous forest, and behind you, you know these things are coming, and that they're slowly picking up the pace to catch up with you. You might want to save it for a second. You come into another clearing,
Right.
and you see illuminated in the light a being in blue armor.
And blue armor.
Yep. Make me a nature check.
My nature's so good.
She can make one as well.
I got a 23.
Okay.
And she got 16.
She grabs you and she says, "It's an elf." You notice that this elf is extremely.
He's wearing plate armor?
You can't tell what kind of armor it is.
But it's blue armor.
It's blue. It's like it's been elaborately painted blue.
It's very nice.
It's very nice. It's like filigreed with gold and
Help us!
he puts a hand up and just waves and holds his hand shut, and the lights stop at the edge of the wood behind you.
The will-o-wisp?
Literally like 10 feet behind you, they just stop. And he says, "What deliciousness do we have here?" We'll get back to it.
What?
shit.
Stay delicious.
This is baloney.
Okay. Allie is going to attempt, she would like to steer this conversation artfully in another direction. Basically with like a half answer. Should I use persuasion, performance, or deception?
Deception.
Alright, we will go with that.
I'm sure those are all.
Can Balder
Did you
use
lose the-
his
I'm a bard.
imposing
There's like,
presence
it's open to
to
interpretation.
You use insight.
Thank you.
Insight.
Yeah, she rolled real bad, so that ain't gonna fucking work. Okay, she rolled like an 8.
Let's not hope that we're
Yeah.
better.
17.
Yeah, Allie starts telling you this tale she's weaving, and you at first you don't catch it, but it seems to be that, I mean, because she's incredible at telling tales, but you notice it within the first 7 to 10 minutes. It's not making the like linear sense. Like it just kind of keeps moving away from telling like a root truth. So you're able to kind of recognize this is not, you're not being honest with me.
How about we
I have fucking luck.
how about we cut the bullshit?
I know you do.
Fuck.
Allie,
I was like, I knew
I told you the truth.
You told me a half truth at best.
I told you the truth.
Just because we didn't volunteer it in the beginning doesn't mean it's not true.
And in the beginning, I've literally been dragged around with you people for how long?
I believe
2 days.
I believe the way you
No,
want
it's
to
been
phrase
longer.
that
It's been
is-
longer than
Is
2
it 2
days.
days? Okay.
Yeah.
I believe the way you want to phrase that is thank you so much for saving me.
I mean, I'm not gonna go there.
She just
Baldur
like,
can make that decision on his own.
she literally like, so she's just kind of like glaring at you and just a slow smile crosses her lips. Let me put it to you this way, my friend. I have skills that
Pay the bills.
potentially, yeah, right.
We'll set
I got
skills, pay the bills.
skills. I have skills that could potentially make me quite an asset here. And if you want at least part of the truth of my story, let me just explain to you that yes, I do live in a glass house. And yes, I have thrown stones. But I didn't murder thousands of people.
Well, to be honest, we don't know how many didn't make it because we weren't supposed to make it, and we got
I don't think we
teleported
really
right
know the-
away.
I don't think we really know the aftermath. Do we?
Yeah,
You know,
We know
both
that
of them bad.
shit started to get fucked up.
we know the
You
blast was
went
big.
sideways.
Yeah, we know
Yeah.
it went sideways and the blast was big, but we don't. I mean, we get the feeling we weren't supposed to make it out.
I would say this. Roll me percentiles.
Ugh.
Who?
And if it is
Who?
all of you from Ravnica,
I'm not.
if it
I'm
is
not there.
well, just overall, if it is above your sanity level currently, then you understand how horrible what happened was.
Above? My madness is only a 98.
Yeah, it's got to be, then it's 98, 99.
I don't know.
Well, I rolled.
Otherwise, you can.
I rolled 30.
Otherwise, you can convince yourself currently that everything was.
But wouldn't it be the least
I don't know.
mad
No.
you are, the more you'd have a good understanding?
Care.
Torin
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit
Look.
either way.
Look,
No, because when that number starts to go lower, you'll start to understand what you did.
let's. Shit went sideways, and we were one piece in a larger puzzle. You can assign as much responsibility to us for that as you want to, but for now, let's put it this way. I think if you've been paying attention, you'd realize from what everyone's been telling us the whole time we've been here, everybody we've met, that this used to be a good place. And once people started showing up from everywhere else, everything started to rot. So that leaves me to think that we're the poison. where they're at. And I didn't get here trying to make a place worse. So maybe we can agree to be as least poisonous as possible. We can try to counteract what our nature in here appears to be. We shake on that.
Fair enough. Do you have an index card?
I
don't
somewhere.
have it on
Do you
this.
have $10?
I mean, I would hope.
I may have paper on me.
Yeah, I would hope that maybe
Paper is costly.
some of the things we've done since we've been here shows
Index card.
I have to make them
maybe-
myself.
a piece of our nature. With Caro and Belinda and Robert, and we haven't run for much, and we've helped several.
I won't deny that your actions here definitely align with that thought process. And I'm not... It's fairly clear, as you've said, that we are all tainted in some way.
Nope.
My question is, if we are the infection, and we are unable to reopen the wound to drain it, how in the hell do we fix this? Because to me, it seems as if there is not a solve.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you there. For where we're sitting right now, it doesn't feel like there is a solution. It doesn't feel like... I don't think we were put here to solve it. I think we were put here to pay for what we did, whatever that might be. But wise man once told me that out here, gloves are off. So we don't have to play by anyone's rules if we don't want to. Even this place's rules. So let's not. We'll figure it out. How to make it better, how to solve it. How to close the wound or disinfect it or whatever.
Well,
There's always a way. We just have to find it.
a very wise woman once told me the same thing. Pity she's dead. She gets up and walks the hell away.
She killed that lady.
She kind of did.
I think she's the one. I think she killed the lady.
I think maybe she killed the lady.
Yep.
You walk through and Corey, you go through you are like literally these elves put an arm between your arm like they're taking you to prom.
Okay.
One on each side.
Sweet.
Get some real good pictures.
Did I
And
get a
they're
first off?
walking you like, yeah, sure. They give you a flower and it's like dark and red.
Alright.
It smells like too sweet. Like too sweet. Too peasy. Too peasy, bro. You move through a crystalline walkway, like a skyway, into another domed building. Once in there, you come across a dusky-skinned elf who, rather than being draped in very like gossamer threads, is actually dressed more like you saw some of the Eladrin dressed. And he seems to be focused on reading at a table. There's a great deal of books in this room, but the thing that catches your eye is there is a large telescope.
Is he the only one in the room besides the three of us?
Yep, they bring you in the room.
Okay.
And you hear the female say, "Honored elder, we have brought you a visitor who wishes to speak with you."
What does he say?
He's like reading, and he just like beckons for you to come. They bring a chair for you to sit across from him, from the desk he's sitting at.
So before I go to sit down, I whisper to them, "Can he be trusted?"
In unison, they say, "All here serve master, you included."
All right, so then I'll go sit down with him, I guess. And so I'm curious about the woman in the middle of the lake.
Make me a perception check.
Hey, I survived it. You could too.
That's not great. 11.
You are surprised. The next thing you do will be at disadvantage. A large cat moves from underneath his desk and weaves its way around your legs, just surprising you. Also, there's a bit of electricity that seems to pop away from it. You notice the cat is rune inscribed and has long incisors, a huge dew claw. It's purple in color. You've never seen anything like it. You're just put off by this thing because it eyes you with a hunger of, you are a walking meal. You are Fancy Feast.
Alright, so Cora's real creeped out, but I'm excited. Is it going to start talking to me?
No, it's not Professor Jiggly.
Damn it!
He hasn't
I thought it
escaped.
might talk
He has
for
not
that
escaped
guy.
the class.
No, he hasn't escaped the cat
The
room.
cat room this time. He's busy right now,
No.
doing other
Okay.
things.
Party prepping.
Party prepping.
So does he respond to me? Or...
I'm sorry, say again. What did you have to say?
I'm curious about the lady in the tower in the middle of the lake.
He finally looks up at you, and he's wearing spectacles that have smaller spectacles. Like a jeweler. He takes his glasses off and he sets them down. He looks you up and down.
Begins Gregorian.
Please.
You all obviously do not know the predilections of the Moonlight King and how the mortal took his fancy and his heart in order for him to not be injured, for him to be able to withstand all the games and intrigues of the court. He locked her in an impenetrable fortress. All can see, none can touch.
But I've heard tale that his power doesn't extend to the tower.
Therein lies the prison we all suffer here, we all want, and we cannot have. Even he wants and cannot have.
So he doesn't visit the tower?
He can't.
There goes that idea.
Even he can simply look from afar. He built a prison that even he cannot penetrate.
Well, that just seems silly.
There's so many questions I can't ask him.
Is there a is there a way we can defeat the Moon King?
The Moonlit King can be defeated in many ways. If you just sheer brute force. He's a being, but he can be defeated. Just none dare to take that opportunity. Defeat would mean endless torment.
For the people doing the defeating? Well, that's not good. Where is he his weakest?
He kind of looks perplexed, like he doesn't understand your question.
Is there a place where he has less power?
No. this is his Dempsey. We are stuck here. He's stuck here. You appear to be a learned man.
I'd like to think so.
Imagine having knowledge, ultimate knowledge, that which you covet above all things. You are in a room with this knowledge. You can see it, but you can't touch it. You can hear it, but you can't understand it. It sits away from you in a position where you cannot obtain it. And in addition, you can't leave the room to seek assistance or to talk about the exploit of having this.
That would be supremely frustrating.
That is where you reside. And he looks at the other two, I simply serve. And now, so do you.
Apparently.
Until whoever is your master, and he kind of smiles, decides you no longer serve.
Whether that be good or bad.
So, Torn, you come up to these gates, and it's a double door. And it's a... First you think it's metal. It's so dark. You think it's like iron, like wrought iron. But it's wood. It's like almost like blasted, like burned. There's a distinct smell of wood that has been hit with a chemical. You've smelled this before in Ravnica, similar smells before.
Like in a lab or something?
Yeah. The handles are both a dragon's mouth closed with the circular handle in it. The door is slightly ajar. You can see the pixies, sprites, moving slightly as if they're trying to entice you to come in.
Is there any other light coming through the door?
There's a firelight.
Like flickering kind
It's
of?
flickering. You think the light is high.
Okay.
So it's relatively dark.
Is there like a wide enough gap to like put one of my eyes up to and like peek through?
No, you'd have to pull the door open a little bit.
And it's like a pull open?
Okay, make me a strength check. You can use your athletics.
Natural 20.
Take a count.
Yeah.
You lock your hand in, you lock your other hand around, you plant your three-toed feet, and you pull back, you strain slightly, and then you just kind of clench down with all your muscles, and the door creaks and then slides open. A soft waft of dust, as if this door hasn't been opened in a while. Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless.
Thank you.
You walk in, I'm assuming.
Well, what do I see when I open the door before I step in?
It
I'm a
looks
cautious man.
almost like a cathedral. It looks almost like a cathedral. There's pews all the way up to a front area.
Like wooden pews? Or stone?
Yeah, made out of the same thing that the door's made out of.
So they get the same like charred.
Yeah,
like,
it's not even charred so much as it's just like this treatment. Like at first you're like, oh, that looks not good, but then you touch and you realize that's like super hard.
Sure.
Like,
It's
this could take a
like
beating.
a stain or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
The floor is this beautiful marble that is pristine, but it's dusty. And then it leads forward, and there's a big stained glass in the front with a firelight behind it that glows, and you can see kind of this scene. And it's hard to make out, so you can make me a perception check.
Another nat 20.
Oh my god!
God, another one for you.
Dang.
What is happening tonight?
Hot dice.
So what you see
Tell
is
the other dice to cooperate.
I mean, this was my favorite one, and it's not working tonight.
Oh
so.
no.
you see kind of this play out across this stained glass. It's like a cycle across the top and bottom. It's almost like a Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail, tail being told cyclically on the stained glass, and it's of this green dragon attacking these Eladrin, then becoming this Eladrin, and then attacking these Eladrin, becoming the green dragon, attacking these, and it goes all the way around, and then at the very end, you see the Moonlit King hitting this dragon with a rapier made of moonlight. And you see the dragon on the ground, stuck as an Eladrin. And that is the very middle of the circle.
Are there any like other? Does it look like there's any people in here? Like anybody, any like priests or people like kneeling, like worshiping or
It's
something?
really quiet.
Too quiet. I guess
There's one giant
I'll go in,
Don't get find
Fuck you,
and I'll
mate.
go. I want to approach the stained glass window and try and study it more, but I'm not going to touch it
Okay.
if that's possible. I don't know if it's like up too high or anything.
Make me a perception check.
Dang. That's a 9.
You hear the voice, but you can't tell where it comes from. It's soft, but strong. And it simply says, finally, a way to return me to my former glory.
So this, just to make sure I'm understanding this stained glass window, it is showing the Eladrin fighting this green dragon.
It
Or is
shows
it the dragon fighting the Eladrin?
It shows like
Who's
this.
instigating, I guess.
It looks like they're just fighting.
Okay. And then one of the Eladrin at the end of each of these sort of cycles is becoming this new dragon.
The dragon becomes an
An
Eladrin,
Eladrin, okay.
and then it seems to cycle back to becoming a dragon.
Oh, like the same figure?
Yeah.
Just doing this over and over again? Okay.
I mean, you rolled a natural 20, so
Yeah.
I mean, you get the feeling it's the same dragon, just changing shape.
Is there any look like there's anything else to interact with in here as I like kind of walk between the pews?
There's braziers that are on fire, and they in the heart of the flame, it goes from red to a green hue. One might say a green flame.
Green
Thank you.
flame.
There's an acrid smell.
Somebody doesn't want
Yeah,
to
there's an acrid smell in the air. But
Good watch, Boone. Just watch it.
there's not much else. It's a very Spartan room. There's just not a lot there.
Are the fairies still like trying to guide me in any particular direction?
They're now
Or does it look like
floating
they've just-
around in the air.
What does the ceiling look like? What's
It's a chapel ceiling, so it's high and it's high
like a big vaulted,
ceiling,
like-
vaulted ceiling. Yeah.
I don't want to touch anything.
No, you want
Touch it all.
everything.
No, I
Yeah.
don't.
It's more fun when you
Do
do.
it.
Yeah, but the high stakes here.
Sometimes you gotta take the
The
risk.
I don't
stakes are what you make
Yeah,
them.
but I don't want to die.
Steaks are tasty.
Uh,
You might, but you might live.
I might, but this way I know I'll live at least for a little while longer.
I'm pleased that you came to me without coercion or force.
So look around Just
Can't tell where the voice is coming from.
who are you?
You've come into my home. I am the sorrowful courtesan of this place.
Why did you bring me here?
Because you return me to my glory. Then I will have my furious vengeance.
Tarn's gonna look at the stained glass window. Are you the green dragon?
I am Vethmorn, they who were betrayed for the love of a mortal.
Can you spell it?
Vethmourn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you trapped like we are?
Everyone is trapped here.
Is it because of this moonlit king?
The betrayer trapped us all here. His vanity knows no bounds. But you will be my champion. And the trickster, while he may claim you, we share the blood of the first race. We share the blood of dragons. We are kin beyond kin.
You look that way, but not. I didn't come into this in the normal.
A person steps out of the shadows. Much like all the Eladrin you've met so far, very androgynous. You can't get a kind of tell on gender. Tall, sleek, with light green hair, tied in kind of the Japanese top knot style.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a long robe that is very brightly colored, and across the brightly colored patterns you see the dragon. They say to you, it doesn't matter the story of your creation. It only matters the glory in your blood. I am stuck in this form, currently this abhorrent form, all because of the false words of the Moonlit King. I would have my glory back, my dignity. I would have what is mine. You would have your birthright. You would be a dragon as I am. I will give you that. And then we will have our freedom.
And if I do not wish to remain here?
Oh, I will not stay here. I will find a way out of this prison.
Do you expect me to accompany you on that?
Once our dealing here is done, and once you have freed me of my bonds, and I have evolved you to where you need to be, we can part ways if you so wish. The kinship of our kind needs space and distance, because sometimes being too close for too long brings a certain amount of bloodlust.
I presume you know we've been asked by this trickster to deal with the Moonlit King.
Of course you have.
Are your interests aligned?
Slightly. The end is primarily the same.
I'll look back at the cathedral window at the rapier specifically. Does that have anything to do with this?
I wish the sword.
As I expected. Do you know where we can find it?
It's on the king.
Do you know what sort of spell or enchantment was placed on it to do this to you?
I'm cursed. I'm stuck here. And before the mortal... And you can see like the words rising up in their mouth. And then back to Condemnere. Plaything. Cross the barrier. I was the focus of his attention.
What of my companions? The people who have been trapped here. Do you require anything of them?
I require that they do not get in the way of you obtaining the sword for me. Think of things in this respect. You are part of the first race of dragons. Even the oldest among the races you walk with is a speck of dust in time compared to you.
Don't think of it.
Do not think too long.
Somehow I don't think I'll have the time, even if I wanted it.
Oh, here time works differently. That's the problem. And if they fade into the darkness, the fairies are the what did I say they were? They were sprites.
Yeah, sprites are...
Move around you and lead you back towards the Prism Citadel. All right, where were we? Who's next? Got a lot of order.
Depends. Uh-oh. DM notes.
I notes. Secrets.
Read your notes.
Secrets.
Read them out loud
Did you
so
guys
we
go?
all know.
We went. I think
Boone, you're up.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I
see
think
if
Boone's
Magnar
probably
dies.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how
Safe AF.
You should read them out loud so we all know.
Still have inspiration.
But that wouldn't be good
I also have
podcasting.
3 points of luck.
Well, there you go.
Apparently, that I forgot about.
You'll have to let me know how you're going to go about making that happen.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
Now everyone's worried.
it's okay.
So you like see this Aladrin.
Like, your computer
and
was easy.
They look like they're about 2 inches off the ground, like they're floating, but they're standing there in the middle of this field.
So we can't have, like, a lot of spell slots left. He's spending all his spell slots.
Like
on
you do levitation. I'm fancy.
Just every 60 seconds.
Yep.
What do we have here? My day gets more and more intriguing.
What do you mean? Please, do tell. Because my day just took a real weird turn.
He walks around you, or floats around you, basically, and just kind of is looking you up and down. It's slightly disconcerting, because you feel a little bit like pieces of meat. He says, "You've been delivered to me for a purpose you don't even understand.
Please help me understand.
And he reaches out and touches your shoulder.
He's got to reach up pretty tall.
While he just levitates up and touches your shoulder.
I snarkily tell him it's a waste of his magic to levitate like that. To not be a show-off.
He smiles and he says, "Here, for me, it isn't." Make me an Arcana check.
Natural 20!
Jeez.
Christmas.
It's this side of the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Something
sat in
good's
the
going on
wrong
Serious.
here.
spot, man.
You find you look down and there's these crazy runes now glowing blue marked into your shoulder.
Man.
And he kind
I
of
know how you feel, bro.
smiles.
What'd you do?
I merely protected you.
Oh, okay. Are you lying?
You can make an insight check.
You lying.
Straight out, are you lying?
Just gonna ask.
Literally all the
Natural 20! Hey!
Wow.
There you go.
Yikes!
Just take the whole deck.
Yeah, you just want to take the
that
deck and
is
split them between
crazy.
these two?
Excellent.
Man, this is great.
I only roll this well usually when I'm DMing. I never roll this good when I'm playing.
He's not lying, but you definitely get the impression, because you rolled a natural 20, he is not telling you the whole truth. So, if anything, it's lying by omission, but it will protect you. You definitely are protected in some way, shape, or form by this monk.
So, I trust that I'm protected, but did you do anything else to me, huh?
I've done nothing but mark you as a member of my house.
Oh, I've been sorting hatted, if you will, huh?
You've been protected from more dubious members of this kingdom.
Dubious members of the kingdom? What kingdom am I in, if you do?
Oh,
Pray tell.
my friend, you've stumbled into the kingdom of the Moonlit King.
That sounds alright. I've been to some shitty
Alzina
places
is
so far.
like just completely like flabbergasted, and he reaches out and he touches her, and the same room lights up on her.
I'll make sure that they line up. Okay. It's not fucking with us.
She like looks at you and she's like,
We're not dying. It's alright.
well, it's more like, should we just fucking attack this guy?
No. I don't think. I give her a subtle like, nope. Probably not.
2 sets of mortals in one day.
2 sets? There was another set? Because I was following a set of my comrades, and then I lost their trail.
Well, I think you make an ideal backup plan.
Backup for what?
He smiles.
I'm down for pretty much anything. I'm not your normal Goliath.
Perfect. I like the way that you think.
I like to party, if you know what I mean.
Even better.
I don't drink, though.
Fair. I think that I will take you to somewhere special where I can hide you from prying eyes.
Us? You're so sweet.
And there, I'll wait. And you can ensure that my plans come to fruition.
So we're not gonna become like prisoners or anything like that,
no,
right?
I'm going to take you somewhere very nice where your mom's calling.
Yeah, she just called me too, so I'll go call her. Just hang
Hey,
up.
Doug,
Just hang up.
do you want to pause
it's
the
fine.
stream?
It's fine.
All right, go ahead.
You're dealing with him, so.
Well, if it's an emergency, let me know. Where was I? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I asked if I was being a prisoner.
Prisoner's a harsh word.
But if
No, you are. Think of it as a vacation. All expenses paid. Don't do that. The only thing is you can't leave.
I don't know how I feel about that one, huh?
It doesn't matter how you feel about it, does it?
It might.
No, It really doesn't, my friend. Come along now. And he starts to walk. Or starts to levitate.
I don't have fucking levitation. I can't. I would do it just to spite his ass, but I can't. Ah!
Cool now, jackass.
We both get on Maximilian's Earth and Grasp and follow him behind.
Just like,
Yep.
Okay. So... Oh, not good. Sorry, I can hear what's going on, which makes me really concerned.
Am I being locked up?
No,
I
he
guess.
walks you into the forest,
Not in the forest. We just came from there.
across the clearing into New Forest.
Are we being sacrificed? Fucked up.
He turns around and looks at you, and he kind
That's
of
where your brain goes.
snickers, and he says, keep up, chop chop, pitter patter, let's get at her. And you walk into the woods. Okay,
Fuck.
what is everyone else doing? We did yours. We
I'm
did.
doing a thing.
happened to you guys.
What are you guys doing?
Kind of similar. Okay.
Yeah, but you're going somewhere else.
Shit.
We're matching now. I got the mark on me.
Okay.
So
That leaves me and
Welcome to the club, I
Balder.
guess. Welcome to the
Can
team.
go over
it's like a jersey.
to the balcony
Hell yeah.
that Cortez was looking at, and he wants to take a look out at the tower.
Okay.
'Cause he remembers that they were told that the tower is the only place that Moonlight King's power doesn't reach. So he is more interested in taking a survey of the route down to the tower. Like, is it accessible? Does it seem accessible? Is there a sheer cliff face that
No, it's just like a rolling hill down to the edge of the lake.
Okay.
It's very scenic. What you can see through the mists and fog.
Is there a way out to it?
There is not one yet you can visibly see.
How high up is the balcony that they're on?
You're 30 feet off the ground. You're like a third floor.
Okay. He'll look for a minute and then he'll sidle up next to a couple of the Dusk Elves and say, real sorry, it's so stupid. It's been a long day. This is a very stunning palace you have here.
It is not our. You hear them in unison. It is not ours. It belongs to our master. Your master.
Thanks for the correction. I love that. Your master,
Our master.
y'all's master,
Yours as well.
or all's master. They told us their name when we got here, and I just can't remember. Can you refresh my
They
memory?
look at you blankly.
Good talk. You like it here?
We live to serve. We are treated well.
How'd you get here?
It has been so long we don't remember. And since we're not allowed to die, we just live forever young. Forever young! But we're unable to be mutable as our masters are. Only the Moonlight King is mutable.
Yeah. Got that sense. Alright, well. That's good to know. Hey, he sort of like
sits down on the floor. He's like, I got.
They bring you a chair.
I got a knot, like right here. Work that out. That'd be great.
They will go to town. You get
Sweet.
the most amazing massage in the history of massages.
Great.
You get 3 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
You feel amazing.
Don't get excited because that might mean that you will need them.
Right.
Maybe.
Doesn't know.
What's Allie doing?
Allie is going to approach one of the servants.
Okay.
And ask, is there anywhere specific that's off limits? Am I free to come and go?
You can go wherever you please. You will have an escort.
Of course, that makes the most sense.
You are honored guests. You are under the master's control and a part of his retinue.
My trade, you see, makes me very curious. So I think I'm going to take my leave for a while.
Okay, 2 elves will walk beside you and they interlock their arms in yours as if you were walking down that homecoming aisle and
Promenading down the
Yep.
street. Okay.
any particular
Yeah, right.
any particular direction or anything you want to do.
Towards the palace.
You walk towards a wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like they walk and you're like, we're gonna hit a wall, and you go and it's almost like you're walking through. You realize it's a trick of light, but there's actually a door there, an open doorway, and you find yourself going down 3 flights of stairs, and you are now in an empty courtyard under the moonlight. When you say the palace, which palace you're talking about? The main.
Kings, yeah.
They will start walking you towards the Moon King's palace. It's absolutely stunning outside. I mean, it's beautiful. And you make your way across this soft grass. And then I would like you to make me a perception check.
Okay. It's a 16.
Okay. You hear a noise. And it's soft at first. And you're not sure what it is. Because this place is so pristine. It's so much like a dream. And then you realize it's the sound of a fly. But the more you kind of listen, you realize it's the sound of a lot of flies. And that's when you see the ground beside you move and push out of it. And you see this thing, this large mass of discarded parts push its way out of the ground. And it goes from being a form, kind of squatting, to standing fully erect at about 15 feet. And that's when you realize this is like a bipedal thing. And you instantly need to make me a sanity roll.
Oh, shit.
Wah, wah.
My day is going amazing.
Is this a saving throw?
No, this
Dang,
is...
let's see, can I show my cards?
Not even a wisdom
And my
save.
sanity's not like doing super great.
It's okay.
Point, so.
You're weak-minded.
Yeah, I am weak-minded.
Bards.
49
Okay, you're fine.
for once.
You have a flashback to leaving Pickman's Hollow and the Beast.
Gross.
But there's no bag on the head of this. This is parts. And it immediately reaches out and it crushes the head of one of the elves walking with you. I mean, they just splats it. It's dead. The only thing you feel is his arm go slack as it slides down your arm and lands in front of you. And you can hear the buzzing. It's almost deafening of flies. Nate, what are you doing?
Alright. Being creeped out. But Core is sitting in that observatory. He's gonna go up to the telescope deal and not be creepy, but stare at that tower.
Okay.
To a telescope?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You gonna rotate it down?
Telescope.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I want to see what I can see as far as what the tower, like how it's made.
Make an Arcana check there, Core.
Let's do. Although I'm at disadvantage because that cat freaked me out.
You're about to go blind. You're looking too closely at the secrets.
Well, there's a natural 20,
But you're
but
disadvantaged.
there's also a 9. So that is 14.
You look at it.
Actually, if I use my inspiration, can I not roll at disadvantage?
Yeah.
Do I have to roll again, or can I just take that 20?
Oh, Nate.
Come
on, Nate.
It's worth a shot.
Come on, Nate.
I mean, how am I going to
Get your inspiration back for that comment. I'll at least give you that back.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just gonna throw it back in.
Your swagger was so high on that one.
I rolled a 4, so I'm just gonna do that again. Oh, it's even worse.
Oh,
Good
no.
Lord.
They're supposed to get better when you...
They're supposed to get better.
I mean, I showed you. I got a natural.
It's made of
20.
I think
secrets and
they're
dreams.
dice. They
It's
kind of
made
just
of
do whatever
secrets
they
and dreams.
want. Really.
All right.
Sometimes they feel like being all right. Other times they feel like being
Like honestly, like
Yeah.
you look at it and it's made of like the mystery of these things. The arcane energy is hard for you to get a read on.
All right. Well, there's that.
Make me a perception check, please, Nate.
Love to.
Core.
Well, that's a lot better. That is 21.
You hear the sound of a head being crushed.
Ugh.
Squish.
Can I?
Like 10 pounds of hamburger being pushed off of a 15-foot platform
Don't
onto
forget about
concrete.
that nice bone
Sound
crunching
we
noise.
all know.
And we're back to the ASMR thing in the most uncomfortable way.
Can I tell where it came from?
You can look and you can see Allie, an elf, and this massive thing looming over them both.
Thank God you can see it.
Superhero
I was
landing.
like,
Superhero landing! 3-point landing off the balcony!
That sounds ridiculous. Did you think you were just going crazy?
no, I was just worried that, like, I would be the only one
Everything's
that could
fine.
actually see it. Everybody would assume I murdered the dude.
Yeah.
Superhero landing off the balcony!
Stick it.
That'll happen.
We'll see. We'll see.
Remember, moving all those rocks would be so easy. Yeah.
We'll see.
You're old, Dave.
It's not you're never gonna see it. I'll tell you the story later.
Is he watching the stream?
No,
No.
gosh, no.
No.
My dad doesn't even understand quite what D&D even is.
All right.
It's random.
But he was telling us how moving those rocks was. I could do all that in an hour.
Oh, the rocks in the backyard. Oh, get half an hour, maybe. It took 4 of us 3 hours. So,
That's what I thought before I moved a bunch of rocks.
right? You're like, no, this is gonna be real quick, and then you start doing it. You're like,
You move one and it's game over.
you're done.
Some of those things were that long
We had a couple.
and like that thick, and they were super heavy.
They have varying lengths and widths.
Yeah.
And it was one thing taking them off the pile on the pallet. It was another thing once they were on the ground, and you had to take them from the ground, pick them up, and then move them again.
We put them on their side so at least you could see the width because we had to do the layers according to the width. But even then, you were like fully bending over them.
So what are
It's
you
terrible.
doing?
Anyways, what I missed.
What am I doing? How
That sounds pretty gross.
How
Is
close
core
are they to me?
core dying? Is that what I missed?
Yeah,
No, I'm
his head just
fine.
got crushed.
No.
Jeez.
Hey.
That's what I'm asking.
That's not
No.
true. That's not
No.
true. He's not dead yet.
Oh, not yet?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
we're gonna
I mean,
happen?
Maybe.
Seriously, did I miss something real
Allie
important
is
for the
closer to
notes?
Yeah.
getting killed.
So Allie
You
went
got
up.
attacked?
Not yet.
I missed
Not
a
yet.
lot.
But she's literally
Yeah.
like 6 inches away from being attacked.
Jeez, I missed a
so
lot. Okay.
Dude's skull got squished like right next
How
to me.
close
I'm
are
a
they
prisoner.
to me?
Super fun.
30 feet up and about 20 feet away.
you can make it. You
I'm
can do
30
it.
feet
Jump,
Mhm.
jump,
Yeah.
jump, jump.
You fly, right?
If
You
you
can
get
jump
a,
off.
if you
Superhero
get a
landing.
Um,
Perfect.
10-foot
You
run,
can't go wrong.
slow fall.
I believe in you.
Cast feather fall.
You
on
can
yourself.
do it.
I don't
I
have feather
believe
fall.
I can
Get a
fly.
good running start.
I can't even
Leap
get
up.
I
feather.
believe Nick can
Parkour
touch the
off
sky.
Okay, okay, hold on.
Railing
I've missed a lot.
onto the ground.
Can I give my card to Nate?
No.
I
Cards
can't
you
give my
give.
D20 card?
No, you can.
You've
give-
let people, like, you know, be like, I
I
want to
shouldn't.
use this.
I'm too nice.
That is very true.
Cracking down.
It's just a fortuitous.
Cracking down.
It's,
Now he's cracking down.
it's just a fortuitous circumstance card.
No.
Fortuitous. That
Fortuitous.
was good.
Fortuitous.
A turtle shows up.
Can't talk about Yes!
A hairy turtle on top of that.
Giant
Perfect.
A fur tortoise.
turtle tortoise combo.
Let's see.
It's a bear with a turtle shell.
So, I don't know if I can save you, but I guess I'll find out.
I went to a hairy turtle show in college once.
That sounds unadvised.
Yeah.
ill-advised.
You would think the
Wow.
enhance ability
Okay.
card would list all the things it can do. But
Are
it
you
doesn't.
still in the same spot you were before?
No, I am outside.
You're outside now. Okay.
Yeah,
in a
I'm-
courtyard.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like within earshot or something.
We'll get to you.
I'm in the observatory.
Okay.
Gross things happen.
With the wrench.
Great. We go
Yes.
back and watch the
Yes.
stream now.
That's the conservatory.
It's a very,
Corn
it's a
no
fancier.
mustard.
Yeah, you
clear
ever,
out.
you ever
Alright.
see Into the Woods?
So,
Squeesh.
I'm gonna cast enhance ability on myself.
Okay.
Do Cat's Grace.
Nice.
So I don't take fall damage from falling 20 feet or less. And
Okay.
I'm hoping that lessens the
Yep, just a d6.
30 feet. So
1 damage.
I'm gonna go ahead and okay, I like that. That's nice.
Hey, that's livable.
Sort of like twists your ankle a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You'll Peter Griffin it just for a little bit.
Ooh, my knees.
Alright, let me write down that first little spell.
You're now on the ground.
I am now on the ground. So can you describe that again, even though I really don't want you to, because it's kind of gross.
This looks like it is visceral parts. It doesn't look like it's strung together with stitching, like the thing you saw in Pikmin's Hollow.
So it's not a normal flesh color.
This looks like it is arcane energy is holding this together, or some type of energy
Aren't
is
there
holding this
kind
together.
of doggy kind of looking things?
Can I cast Dispel Magic on it?
You've already cast a spell,
I have, yes.
so
You
no,
can't cast it.
not yet.
Not until it gets a turn. Is what you're telling me?
Well, not until we go all the way down.
Alright, was there one thing, Balder?
Alright.
So Balder, I forgot to mention, well, Balder is getting the
Special chocolate day.
hit
Mine's
point
not some chocolate.
granting massage. He's sort of like leaned forward a little bit so they can get in there, and
There's more there if you want
Can
more.
you make me a perception check for Diana,
I sure
please?
can.
he will
For
Diana.
okay.
he will summon Balder's tear, but just let it fall to the floor. And then he'll ask one of them to pick it up. Did you pick that up?
Oh.
Brian?
Oh,
They
she rolls
look-
so bad.
They look really like they look intimidated.
Pick
by
it up.
them.
Oh,
So I'll try to pick it
Nikes.
When they pick it up, does anything happen to him?
up. No, but they don't seem to want to hold it for very long.
All right, thank you.
They seem scared by it.
Okay.
She rolled like a 6.
Okay.
She ain't seeing anything.
She actually closed her eyes.
Yeah.
She sees shapes. And she hears the noise. She comes stumbling backwards. Diana comes stumbling backwards into the room and just looks and says something's awry outside.
Balder will go outside.
You can go to the You can use your movement to get up to the balcony edge.
Okay.
I'm gonna look outside. I'm gonna look and see.
Yeah,
what you see.
he'll look and
Okay,
see
make
what
me
he
a
sees.
perception check.
All right. That's pretty good. 22.
You see the scene of just the elf, the form hanging in the hand of this just mass of writhing parts.
Balder will call back to. It's just Roy in the room with him. There's Torin back also.
No, Torrent's still making his way back.
Okay.
He's making his
He'll
way in
just-
the world today.
He'll just
Takes
call,
everything you got.
He'll just call out back to Roy like everything's going to shit again.
Oh, so standard. Okay, let's go.
Shit again.
Both
Standard
of you
time.
make
It's
me
a
a
Tuesday.
perception check.
It's Tuesday. Great.
That's cocked. 10.
Oh, that's a 7. That's real terrible.
You don't notice
It's my
anything.
first real roll. I'm still gonna run towards Baldur.
Okay,
though.
you can get to the edge as well.
So
You
it's
can both
30
jump down.
It's 30 feet down.
It's 30 feet down. We'll take a d6 per 10 feet.
Do we have our packs on her? Can I put a rope on the balcony?
Then I'll take you around.
Balder is not going to jump down.
Guys,
Balder.
it's just a little fall damage.
Balder.
Superhero landing. It could be really, really cool.
Swan
It's
talk.
worth it.
If I hold in a spell as an action, if I hold a spell as an action and the triggering mechanism doesn't happen, I still lose that spell slot, right? Okay. Balder will cast. Let me do that. Balder's gonna wait a minute to see how this plays out.
Okay. So I don't have a pack on me, but what I would have on me. Oh no, that's not what I'm thinking of either. Ah, screw it. I jump over the
Everybody
edge.
walk and tack.
All right,
I jump over the edge.
You get
make me
walk,
a
tack, and wait.
acrobatics check. You know what? I changed
Oh,
it.
sorry. Balder will cast.
Make me a
though.
dex save.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna parkour over the.
You have to yell.
Well, that would be an 8, but I think I'm gonna use my fortuitous
true.
circumstance card, and I land safely.
Use that. What I was going to do is, if you succeed, I'd half the damage.
Oh.
So I'll half the damage, which is good because I'm rolling real well. So half of 15.
This is not a fortuitous circumstance, then.
Yeah, because you hit the ground and you can take the rest of your action, and you can take an additional move, and you are in melee next round.
Okay.
So like you roll, you hit hard because you jumped 3 floors,
I jumped.
but you roll and you roll into a dead sprint,
No, that's good. Okay, I'll
See,
take that.
It looked really cool, so it was.
and you are now
Cool.
right up on this thing.
Okay.
Torn, you're walking. Please roll. I'm walking here.
I'm walking.
here.
Please roll
whole
me a
different game.
perception check.
That's a totally different dude. Suddenly, a
not good.
golden halo flies
I
out of
believe
nowhere and
that is
bonks the
going to
golden
be
side
an
of its
8.
head.
I'm pretty certain. Yes, an 8.
Nothing out of the ordinary. What you do notice, though, is as you're walking, the sprites who are illuminating your way take off.
That's not good.
It's real dark. And then you hear a very disconcerting.
vision? I don't think I do.
Then you hear a very disconcerting noise,
No dark vision.
which sounds like if someone threw a sponge full of fluid against the wall.
I like these. I think you should make a new metaphor every time. Like, you hear the sound of, like,
Can
a turkey full of jello being rolled down a playground slide.
If I used a piece of intestine as a bullwhip and just cracked it.
Every time you describe it.
They're in a Foley lab. Can I get a sense about how far away this is, if nothing else?
Double move.
Double
Get there.
move.
Because I'm assuming you didn't
Double
scream.
move to be within visual
You
range
just
of it.
gasped.
Double move to be within.
No, to be right there.
Oh,
Will
okay.
Is he going over the balcony too, or is
I-
No, he's on the ground.
I'm not going to. I'm going to move my 30 feet.
Okay.
Actually, hang on 1 second. Let me check the thing.
What things to check, Ben? Check those
Things.
things. It's important to check the things.
Okay, I am going to use. So I move my 30 feet, and as my bonus action, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
So that I will I can choose a creature. So I'm going to choose this big, creepy, nasty thing.
Okay.
Until the spell ends.
Roll me perception. It would be a disadvantage because you don't have. Do you have like dark vision or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so it'd be a disadvantage because of the conditions as well as it's night.
Okay. Ooh, 11 is the highest.
Yeah, you can't really tell. You just see a
Okay.
shape. You see shapes.
So I can't like attack anything.
You'd have to double move just to get there.
Okay.
Then you
Well, in
can
that
see-
case, I'll do my regular 30 move, and I'm going to pull out my bow and knock an arrow.
you can still move. I'll let you do all that.
Okay.
You just can't shoot it.
No.
Okay.
You're just readying to attack next round.
Okay. And I guess so I can't use my spell on it then.
No, but you
Okay.
can do it next round.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I guess that's. Ooh.
Alright.
I'm gonna move. I want to use for my action. I'm gonna cast Long Strider, and so I can move an extra 10 feet.
Okay, perfect.
And so I will move an extra 10 feet. So now I should be within 20 feet.
Yep.
Okay.
Now you can make out a large form and
Okay.
two smaller forms, and the large form is holding one of the smaller forms, and then there's two free forms. One you think maybe Allie.
Okay. That's still not enough to like.
I
That's,
missed it.
That's kind of what you're saying.
yeah, I think that's
Just
that's my
shapes.
turn then.
Yeah.
Unless at this point, can I close enough to see it to cast Hunter's Mark?
Is that a bonus action?
Yeah, it's a bonus.
Yeah, you can cast on
Okay, so I'm gonna mark this strange creature as my quarry, and it takes an extra D6 of damage. Well, I deal an extra D6 of damage whenever I hit it with a weapon attack.
Okay.
And I have advantage in any wisdom, any perception or survival check I make to find it.
Okay, perfect.
And to do that, I require. Oh, it's just a verbal. It's concentration up to an hour.
Okay.
So.
Orn,
I'm alive.
you and Alzina, you're walking across down a well-worn path, and then this being steers you into these briars.
What's?
It's like a thorny bush,
Oh, okay.
and he waves his hands, and you can hear them unwind and unspool, pull apart. And there is a path, and the ground is soft. And when you're walking behind him, he emits this like soft blue light, and you can see his footprints. There are grubs and maggots
Oh,
on
gross.
the ground.
Ooh,
She Alzina looks at you like, what the are we doing?
and I'm like, gross, right? I don't want to.
As you walk, you can hear the briar closing behind you.
Are we at least going to a city?
Oh, no. I'm taking you somewhere special, friend. What did you say your name was again?
My name?
Yes, your name, friend.
Sven.
Ah, Sven.
Ven.
Alzina looks at you like, what? Make me a deception check.
Natural.
Sorry, do we ever get a name for what these creatures are called when we were back in?
17.
And Pigment's Hollow,
Yeah.
that was just a flesh golem.
Okay.
You don't know what this is for sure. 17. He turns around and looks at you and he says, friends don't have to lie to one another.
Who said we're friends?
Don't you want to be my friend?
I mean, to the extent that you keep me safe, sure. I don't know you on a personal level yet. Like, I don't know how you came up. I don't know your hobbies. Friend's a really tough thing. Like, I'd
All of a
spend a whole night
sudden,
with her.
he looks extremely intimidating. Like,
I'm a massive man.
But you notice, like, that armor is impressive. and he's giving off a strange arcane energy, and you're in the middle of a briar where he seems to be the one who is opening the way of it, and it seems to be at his command. You're a little like, okay. He looks at you like kind of incredulously.
I'm not saying we're enemies.
That would be a foolish mistake.
Because obviously you saved me. You protected me from the spooky orbs. So I'm at least indebted to an extent, of course. And
you're going to be more than indebted. We're going to enter a partnership where
what are we doing?
I'm going to give you the opportunity to ensure my ascendance. And then once I have ascended, then I will ensure that you are rewarded.
How? Because I'm all for it. I like this. I like it. Look, if it's something dastardly, I'm all for it.
Once we reach our destination, then I will reveal to you.
Let's just talk along the way. I mean, I'm following you anyway. I'm pretty fucked.
These woods have ears.
Let's whisper.
And where we're going, everything is quiet.
Oh, God damn it. Are you saying that, like, I'm not going to be allowed to talk or move or... I'm dead, aren't I? Yeah.
He smiles and looks at Alzina and says, she's quiet. Perhaps you should be quiet for a little while.
Oh no.
And then he smiles a very toothy grin, and he starts to open the briar patch again, and you move all the way through. You figure you travel for probably 3 miles. I mean, it feels forever. And he's traveling like he's softly whistling. And you can see eyes upon you, and you can feel
Playing the air drum.
the will-o-wisp on the other side of the bramble. You can feel their kind of energy pulling
Give
at
him
you.
crotch chops.
But not so hard to hurt yourself.
No. I've learned my lesson.
Don't hurt yourself.
Eventually, the bramble opens into what looks like it was an encampment. Across the fire, there is a hut.
I feign like kicking in a door when I go through the bramble.
And when he comes out, he reaches up and he rings a bell inside of that is a skull.
Oh, the old dinner bell, huh? He brought home dinner, and we're dinner. I get it.
The shuffling of feet. And out of the hut, with fire illuminating it, so you can see its face, is make me a sanity check.
Ah, my sanity's great.
Actually, no, make me a wisdom save, and that's to see if you need to make a sanity check.
Wisdom save?
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, you're good. Chewing on a leg that looks like it's
Humanoid, probably?
probably a baby.
Oh, that's fine.
Aww.
Just killed some babies.
Walking across is
Suddenly you're very hungry.
make me a nature check.
11?
You don't know what this is, but it is horrific to look at. It's a female-ish form.
Would she make a nature check?
Hunchback. Yes, she would.
Yeah, 19.
She grabs you and she says, "It's a hag.
Oh,
Trust nothing. Take nothing."
I feel you.
He says, "Oh, sweet, sweet mother of
So
night.
Dead. Fuck.
I have brought you
Oh, shit.
tools of my ascendance for you to keep sharp."
Fuck. But don't stab me.
She looks at him and she says, "Mmm, but so tender."
No, I'm not. No. I can promise you, I'm
I could boil
very sinewy.
the rock from you and taste the soft middle beneath.
There's not much of that.
And you, woman,
Maybe my heart.
braised in a salty sauce. Over time, your muscle breaking down to perfection.
We all know attractive people aren't tasty. They taste awful
So tasty.
because they're so vain.
So tasty!
Mm,
He says, no. These are not to eat. These are for planning. You will keep them here. You will keep them safe. And then I will beckon for them.
this looks like an older woman, right? Hags.
Impossibly old.
Right.
No.
I offer
Crooked
my
nose.
arm, like, oh, do you need some
Arm,
help?
like hunched back, like super long fingernails.
Oh,
Hag Ravens
gross.
from Skyrim without the feathers.
Okay.
And like without bird feet.
He says, you want to know what I require of you.
Yeah. What lets us not die, ideally.
You are
Our
my
relationship's
insurance.
just getting started.
You are my insurance policy.
Oh, your
Once your
deductible's
friends-
super high.
Take their shot. He just ignores you.
Killed Allie.
Once your friends take their shot at the Moonlit King,
Ooh, what? Regicide?
you-
We're really good at that.
You say that, and Alzina looks at you like, what? Um,
I'll fill you in later, sweetie.
he says,
She's gonna punch me later.
once they begin their conflict, I will send you towards the tower.
To do what? I've got magic. I can do some cool shit.
You will be charged with killing the woman in the tower.
A woman? I mean, It's
I
fine.
can't just break him physically. I have to break him in every way.
I'm all about it. Like, emotionally?
Every way.
Okay, yeah. Now, what did this guy do? He's like a dick.
He looks at you and he just, like, he has, like, this app. There's this kind of reserved cockiness that's going on in
Yeah.
this very androgynous person. And at that moment, the veneer slips and you see a truly terrifying snarl. Do you remember in like Lord of the Rings when Galadriel shows like her true face when she talks about the One Ring and everyone goes, "Oh fuck, that's terrible and terrifying." You see that. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Easy
That's
peasy.
part of that movie.
Yeah. I'm good. Probably.
Alright.
Yeah.
Maybe.
22.
Yeah, you're
Oh
good.
wow.
You're like, oh, I should probably not fuck around with this guy too much unless I have a plan. And he says, he keeps us here. He traps us like this.
Oh.
He makes us like you. I am stuck, and I choose to not be stuck any longer.
Okay.
I would master my own destiny.
Now that is a cause I can get behind. But if you're fucking with me, I'm gonna
Your
be
friends,
so pissed.
your friends are the sword that he'll fight in front of him. You are the dagger in the back.
Can we maybe call ourselves like a battle axe? Because she gets real sensitive.
She's just like, what the fuck are we doing? All right.
Oh boy.
Mother Night then beckons you into her,
Is that the hag?
into
Oh,
her
shit.
hovel.
That's not a fun name.
It's not creepy at all.
Into her hollow?
Into her hovel.
Oh, her hovel.
So it's like
I'm not sure that's any better.
it's like a hut-ish thing, and it slopes down into like a swamp.
It's like
Okay,
Yoda's
Yeah, it's kind of like Yoda's house. Yoda.
Okay.
Yoda's
Yoda's
crib.
a hag?
I'm all about it.
Well,
I mean, kinda.
a little bit.
Do I
Sort
fit?
of looks like one.
You bend down and you go in, and this thing is hollowed out. Like it's big.
Bigger on the inside.
It is big on the inside.
Okay.
There's a lot of skulls hanging down there. It's like a Warhammer 40K piece of artwork.
Okay.
God Emperor.
Yeah, it's like a Randy Orton sleeve tattoo.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Skulls.
Why do you keep finding skull rooms?
See, it went from being
I don't know,
cool to
it's
real
my
douchey
thing.
in like 2 seconds.
There's poop in everyone's bag.
I almost got that
corner.
tattoo, so good thing I didn't.
No, it's real good you didn't. You go in, and there's a big oven.
Don't put us in there.
And there's all these rooms around the outside. Each one's marked differently, and all the doors are shut.
So, do we sleep in one of these rooms? What do we do for you?
You'll sleep in one of them.
You're not doing any
You'll eat here,
Okay.
and then you'll do what I need you to do in the interim.
Do you need anything right now?
Until they call for you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that could probably we're like on call like at any time, right? Yeah.
And you won't stray far. But I have a problem, and you can solve it for me. She's hungry. She walks over and she grabs your arm. Strong. Tasty.
Not tasty, but strong. Again, sinewy, gross.
I also have a problem with the Moonlit King.
Oh.
He left someone here to keep me stuck.
Oh. What'd you do?
What did I do? He's jealous.
Oh.
I can leave.
Ooh. Then why are you still here?
This is my home.
Oh, okay.
I leave to get food.
Shit.
And she pulls a baby bone out, snaps it in half, and
Fair enough.
sucks the marrow out, and then throws it in the fire.
Good protein.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
There, though, he has put a guardian between me and my egress point. I want you to kill the foul beast.
Yeah. What type of beast is it?
It is a... She looks up and she smiles, and it's too wide. Like you're like...
It's like gross. Yeah.
Yeah. And the teeth are all filed to a point, and it just drips of saliva. Like it
Gross.
hits her raggedy outfit. It is a crocodile.
Crocodile?
So, back to you guys.
Oh!
It's a giant crocodile for sure. Knowing this world.
All right. You are like, oh crap.
Crocodile? This is a
Okay, this is
crocodile.
bad. This is very, very, very bad.
Bits of bone and blood stick to the side of your face.
Make me a perception check, please.
Okay, perfect. Please don't roll for garbage. That was not garbage. 20.
You notice that, like, as this thing is congealing and has taken shape, there's more flies. There's just a ton more flies.
Can I get loose of,
Oh yeah, the other dusk elf is just standing there like frozen in fear.
just gonna go,
Yeah, easily done.
and run back to the damn house.
All right, it'll get an attack of opportunity.
It will? Crap.
It's gonna club you with the body of the other.
Oh, gross.
Disengage!
That is a
disengage!
bad
You
way
can
to go.
disengage and then run. And the way I do disengage is it's half your movement to disengage, and then you can move the rest of your movement.
We will disengage.
Okay. So you like take that step backwards and then run like it's a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Balder. Oh, I'm sorry, Cora.
Alright, so I thought, I mean, you're looking at me.
I'm like pointing at you too, and I was like,
Yeah.
You now have to switch character sheets. It's part of your madness.
Switch bodies.
Alright, we can try that.
Change places.
No, so I jumped down to save you and you ran away. That's cool.
Yeah, you're like, where are you going?
All right. So you said when I looked at it, I could tell it wasn't stitched. It was kind of held together by some sort of magic.
Yeah, it's just pieces. Like, it's literal viscera.
Can I cast?
But not viscera.
It's nasty.
No, it has feet.
Do some damage.
Can I cast Dispel Magic on it to dispel like whatever's keeping it together?
Yep.
All right.
Ooh.
Viscera,
Good
like
call.
King of the Ring winner.
That's why I said,
Viscera.
yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
it has,
viscera, but not
but it has feet.
But not that one.
Anyway, so any spell level 3rd or lower ends. If it's higher than that, I have to roll.
Okay.
Or rather,
You would have to
a spell.
roll.
All right, I'll do that. All right, so the DC is 10 plus the spell level.
It was so close.
That was-
it was
You
almost.
jerk.
It was almost a natural.
Either
20.
way, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to subtract
It was almost
4 from your roll.
20.
All right, well it's a 16, so it's a 12.
So it doesn't work.
Yeah, of course it does.
Because why would it work? All right, so what did my elves do that were hanging out with me?
They were like, what are you doing? And they look out the window, and they both like...
Yeah, that's cool. Have a good trip, bro.
So then they ran the other way.
Are you still on the balcony?
Yep.
You can hear all the elves in the room all gasp simultaneously.
Sweet.
Oh, that felt. That's messed up.
Good
Yeah, I'm gonna run away too.
Now, Balder, and then Roya,
What's
and then
the
Torn.
thing doing?
What's the what doing?
The thing.
I will go after Torn goes. So currently it's just
So it's just crushed the head.
yeah, thus far. You all would have gone first in initiative.
Balder.
So if you want to take an action and then like your action, that's fine since I didn't specify that. Because I think you were holding a reaction.
Balder will use his bonus action to he doesn't need to do that. Yeah, he'll use his bonus action to put Hexblade's Curse on it. And then he will hold Eldritch Blast in case it continues to, in case it acts aggressively toward any of his compatriots.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then he's not going to bother.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
How far away is it from me?
You're right there. You're next to it.
Okay. I'm gonna use 2 of my majesty points, and I'm gonna yell at it, and I'm gonna cast suggestion, and I'm gonna tell it to go home.
Okay, interesting.
He needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, but I Hunter's Mark.
I do not make that saving throw. That was a real bad roll.
I mean, you only have to get above a 12, but
I rolled a 2.
Let's try and kill it. I got a Hunter's
Okay, he
Mark.
has to
I
go
can do
home.
A bunch of extra damage.
Okay, that's interesting. Everyone in the area make me a
this is gonna work out really bad for me.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
No, make it a Dex. Make a Dex
Am
saving.
I in the
Dex
area
saving
or
throw.
not?
That's
Okay.
better.
I don't want to make a
Can I make
dex.
a con?
I'm gonna
Natural
use this so I have
20.
advantage on the saving throw. So
Take a card.
roll again.
Am I in the
That's
area?
it's a 24 total.
You're good.
11.
I got exactly the same fucking roll.
14. Oh,
No.
That's a 4.
12 or better would have got it.
What was,
Not so
a
much.
dexterity saving throw, you said?
Seriously, 12 or better.
You
You got a what? Yeah, Dex.
Okay, yeah, I'm good.
I was like, I got a 14. I thought it'd be bad. It's gonna
So-
be 15. Oh, it's 12
13.
this time.
Those who saved will get half of this.
Oh, fun. That sounds like a lot of dice.
It is a lot of dice.
Sweet.
Half of 25. The rest of you take 25.
Gotta be kidding me.
Take 25 damage.
This thing explodes And
Well, I did tell her to go home, so.
all of
Sorry.
these stinging, biting flies come out of it like a whirlwind and just wash over the lot of you, and you're covered in this thick, viscous, leftover matter, and they just swarm to it and attack you, and then within seconds they fly off in like this darkness, and they literally, it darkens the sky momentarily, and then they're gone. And yes, I know I can't really snap my fingers. I can't do it.
Are you
I
still
gotcha.
up,
Thank you.
Core?
Fucking man.
Are you still
Oh,
up?
I'm alive, yeah.
Okay.
Is the thing gone or?
It's gone completely. And the elf that's remaining is holding the body of the one that was crushed.
Yeah, I can't heal that.
And you can hear all of the dusk elves in that citadel softly weeping.
Weeping?
And that has been Domains of Dread.
Ah, shit.
Oh man.
Oh, boy.
While the dusk elves softly weep.
Yep.
Hey, I got rid of it, though.
I need a long
did,
rest.
those-
Maybe not in the most efficient way.
You almost got rid of me too.
I almost got rid of
Should have made you all make a wisdom
I hurt
save.
myself real bad as
I need a
well.
long rest now because I used 2 of my spell slots for no reason.
Don't do that then.
Try being a warlock and doing that.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yo, you have 2 spell slots total.
Yeah. 11
So let's go
of the 10.
around and tell everybody where they can find you. Let's start with you, Cassandra.
You're
because
looking at me. I'm making notes. Oh, he wants to start with me because I'm gonna tell you again. You can't find me anywhere unless you want to
You
see me
can't
on
see me.
Facebook. So, but you can help me defeat the boys and donate to my extra life. It's really great.
you're running.
I'm running a session. I never run. I run once a year. I'm running 9 p.m. to midnight, so it's gonna be fun.
It'd be ideal if you sat. If you ran, that's too much.
That's a lot of work at the same time.
I try to run and just keep the cardio going
You
the
gotta
whole
bring that
time.
treadmill down here.
Yeah.
It's tough, but I do it.
Cardio DMing.
And just pull a bike out, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
There's a
the
bike in
bike.
the
It's
back.
fine. There's an elliptical back there. Wouldn't be too bad either.
I'm Silverback. I'm sort of taking a break from social media right now, but I will also be running a session on for Extra Life this weekend, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Ooh.
So
You got the rough one.
I'm okay with that because it's my first time DMing on a stream. I've only been DMing for a couple of months, so I'm okay with the low pressure scenario.
I
But-
started last year with my first one on a stream, so you got this. You
Yeah,
got
I
this.
You get the overseas
I've been-
people,
I've
and
been-
that's
Yeah.
for some
You
serious
get the
money
random
happens.
people that just show up.
Yeah.
It's great.
Didn't you and I played the session together?
Yeah.
We were the only two
Yeah.
players,
It's just
and we
us.
were like, there was like a bunch of people watching us be
They
dickheads.
were like, oh. As we circumvented Beard's fucking whole plan.
Yeah.
Right?
His entire like tree that he had.
It was like, what are
He
you
came up
doing?
with,
He just broke it.
he's like, well, what if we do this instead of your 3 options that you gave us? So he's like, you guys literally went from here all the way to here.
He was like, I guess. I mean, that's weird, but sure.
Sometimes you got to.
You can find me on all big social media outlets at or invite, spelled like it sounds.
Yeah.
And the next big thing you'll see me on is Game Changer Wrestling's Slime Language next week in Los Angeles
Hey.
against
Sounds great.
Sakuda
Oh, that's
Ooh.
in a death match. So
Ooh.
Come on, guys.
I'm just
I think
Get behind it.
I think for Christmas we just give Oren like a basket of Neosporin and bandages and Super Glue.
It's true.
Care package.
Care package.
Show me the lie.
That's
Yep.
fair.
Any new T-shirts? Anything they need to know?
nothing new right
Take
now.
pictures, you know.
Not yet.
And you're not running this weekend, but you are.
I'm there. I'm
Cool.
there for all but one session.
Okay.
At the moment.
You're taking the mandatory one shift off.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, you said that, and I think you played like everything last year, didn't you?
All but one.
Oh,
I
perfect.
No,
because
everyone takes
you made me take one off.
everyone takes one. They get real loopy when you play all the way through. It's
Yep.
not good.
And I had to help somebody move in that one session
Yeah.
off. And so I got like all of 30 minutes of sleep. But it was
fair.
Happens.
worth it.
Yeah.
Next up,
You can find me on social media at WarriorMN.
Take pictures.
I will also be playing at Extra Life this year. Additionally, all of my characters, if you've ever followed my Twitter, if you don't, what's wrong with you?
Seriously, get
Yeah, you're
Can
nuts if you're not-
confirm.
I mean, I don't have Twitter. Does that count?
You should get Twitter.
Oh.
Just to
Just to
follow.
follow you.
Yeah.
One follow.
And then don't tell anyone your Twitter handle.
I will be.
Yeah.
All of my D&D characters for Extra Life will be free NXT wrestling.
Oh gosh, it's amazing.
Yes!
I have already done a poll for one of them. I'll be doing.
It's so good.
I'll either be doing
God.
another poll for a second one, or doing an auction. Top bidder gets to choose
wow.
the name from all the NXT.
So good.
So stay
So
tuned
good.
at Warrior MN.
So I'm curious to see what name you're going to have in my setting, because that'll be very interesting.
He's gonna play that Myconoid.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Alright, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CubicleZombie. I will also be playing all the D&D this weekend, minus one session.
Thank you.
Is Sarah playing?
Spent one.
No.
Sarah is in Wisconsin
Yeah.
all weekend.
But this is why he gets to be here all weekend now.
That's true.
You can never leave.
Otherwise, I'd just be moving rocks. No, I would be playing D&D.
Sounds like a euphemism now.
It is.
Is it like Doug and sanding the deck?
Say it in
No.
the deck.
I'm not gonna go sand that deck. Come on, Doug. No, everyone knows your lies.
Sand that deck. Sand that deck.
I'm Shannon. You can find me on all the social media places at SmarkyBetch with an E, not an I. You can follow our podcast. We have a professional wrestling podcast where we get real salty all the time, and we upload on Mondays and Fridays called The Married Marks. You can find us marriedmarks.com or all the social media places at Married Marks. We will also be here at some point. My husband
And running.
Yeah, my husband's running. a game.
First session, opening session, he's running.
I'm not, only because like I'm literally in 3 games right now and my brain cannot handle more. And we'll be in other sessions. I know we volunteered for a bunch. Like, we're happy to do just one, but we'll do more if needed.
You get to choose.
We'll do more if needed. So we'll be here. Be fun.
And you're writing as well.
Oh yeah, and I'm also a contributor for Daily DDT. So you can find them at Fansided DDT on Twitter.
I am Your King Ginger, D&DDT on Twitter, along with The Beard, and also HeelTurnRadio on Twitter. We both look at that and contribute.
The Beard, your hetero life partner.
Yes, my hetero life.
Hetero life mate.
These folks also neglected to tell you that they play in the D&DDT podcast game with The Beard that comes out every 2 weeks.
It's the Tasty Boys.
Tasty
Yeah,
Boys.
Tasty Boys.
Tasty Boys is continuing.
We've gone interdimensional.
We have
Jung Dragons has
Spoiler
ended.
alert.
So that is going on still. I encourage you to listen to it. Heel Turn Radio episodes still happening. I don't know. Someone asked me this weekend. They were like, "Did you guys start doing the podcast?" And I was like, "No, we can still do it.
Just do other things too.
We just do other things."
You're recording this week.
That's what I've been told. I guess
Yeah.
we're recording.
It's on the schedule. So.
I don't even remember. I don't do Twitter. Besides that, I don't really want you to find me on anything else. So tough.
cookies.
Yes.
One last plug.
We said noogies growing up.
Do check dnDDT.com every Tuesday afternoon for episode stats
They're real fun.
for this show.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
great.
They're real fun.
They're really great.
Yeah.
You can check out what happened per episode, and then there's also running totals you can see for everything from damage to number of snakes carried.
Warrior kills it on that.
Yeah, he puts in a
amazing. It's
shit
great.
ton of effort, and it's great.
I want to again thank everybody involved. Thank TTRP Theater. Thank all of you as always, and thank any of you who are watching. Believe it or not, we really, really appreciate it, and any and all feedback is always welcome. So,
True. Mostly positive, though.
I hope you sleep well. I hope you have a good Halloween. and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
No, we're Saturday.
Watch
No,
us
no,
on
see us
Saturday.
on Saturday.
crap.
Yeah,
So
Saturday.
see us on Saturday.
Saturday, Sunday.
I just wanted to say
You're
too.
required to watch.
For my session, I'm running a custom setting that I've been working on for like the last 4 or 5 months. And this
Yes.
is sort of like the big public sort of debut of it. It's still a work in progress, but
Nice.
I'm looking forward to like. I know I've showed a few people some things,
Yeah, it looks super cool.
kind of here and there, but yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for what I've got planned.
But is your session is it a dungeon crawl with the Wizard of Oz
No,
skin
it's
on
not.
it? Because mine is.
Spoilers.
Thank you. Oh, you'll see it.
All right.
It's in the descriptions.
All
It's
weekend.
delightful.
Twitch.tv/Known World United. Watch it.
Slash
All the
forward
way.
slash. Forward slash?
Forward slash.
Forward
It's a
slash.
slash.
Okay,
Normal
slash.
slash.
And
that
if you
would
either
use.
stay up or wake up for my super early in the morning session on Sunday, I
Do it.
won't give you anything, but that'd be really cool.
Hey, he'll give you lots of fun. Enjoy the
Yeah,
episode.
it'll
Fun.
be interesting.
I'll be
Give
there.
Fun.
Yeah,
So,
I think you're in the group.
from our dice trade to yours. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.